Hi. Fuck, is it? Oh yeah. Damn. That's kind of yeah. Shit, son, that is crazy. I feel old that we've been doing this for a while. What? Everybody, Jonathan has been speaking this whole time. I swear to cow.
Son
But,
of a bitch! Okay, it's back now. Why? Why would you
OBS
do
is a
that?
son of a bitch.
So yes.
So, in case you hadn't heard any of that, we're doing Rangers, and we're going to do Rangers better than Wizards of the Coast has for the last 10 years.
It's our 50th stream. We want to rebuild the Ranger because Chris and I both really, really like Rangers.
Yeah.
Like, we both can acknowledge that Rangers are very fun. We have a great time playing them. One of the characters I've had genuinely the most fun with was playing a Ranger in a survival campaign. But I think we can both agree that compared to pretty much every other class, they're not amazingly powerful. And unlike the Monk, which is sort of usually the other class that people reference when it comes to this, the Ranger got done real dirty in 2024.
Yeah.
So
and we've done a video.
To fix it.
We are. I was going to say, we've already done a video of Jay praising the 2024 Monk.
I like the 2024 Monk. It's really fucking scary. There's clearly someone on the design team, like a core member of the design team, is a Monk main.
But there were no Ranger mains. And that is why we're here.
Somebody has to stand in the Rangers corner and vouch for it. Take a stand and say, no, we will not watch you fuck up our class and have both versions of Foe Slayer be absolutely fucking appalling.
And if it's not going to be two brothers whose surname is food related, then who is it going to be?
Damn fucking right. So, I have put together this template document, which my face is slightly blocking in OBS, so I'm just going to shrink my camera a wee bit. Ooh, look at me disappear in the corner.
Make you tiny.
I'm making you tiny too.
No! Don't crush me! No!
I hope that recorded properly.
I hope that recorded properly. That would have been really funny.
That would be really funny. So yes, quick baseline. We're not going to be rebuilding the entire class from the ground up. While I am a professional game designer, and Chris and I both have a lot of experience with Dungeons & Dragons and writing and this kind of thing, that's a really fucking big job. So what we
can't fit it into a 3-hour stream. We started an hour early.
And I'm gone next week, so I'm fucking off to an undisclosed location to do tax avoidance. So what we're gonna do? Why
he admits it in front of all the Twitch people.
We are taking.
Yo, Phil Tavalia, welcome.
Phil Tavalia.
We are fixing Rangers.
We're fixing the fucking Ranger. Two Glaswegians fixing Rangers.
Don't make the joke.
Get an ability laser called Celtic Cross. Hey, one's better than none, eh?
Absolutely.
Yes, we're going to be taking the bones of the Ranger. I've built this table. Basically, the structure is the same between 2014 and 2024. The only difference is the favored enemy feature in 2024 has its own column in the table. I just didn't bother with that because the favored enemy in 2024 is shite. So, the other thing is we are wanting to keep this so that it's compatible with existing Ranger subclasses and kind of both sets of rules. So there's a little bit of tight-roping there. A Ranger is basically like a fighter with a little bit of rogue and a little bit of druid. So it is an identity crisis of a class.
Oh, 100%. It's a very mixed class.
Yeah. I've kept the proficiencies and the hit dice and all that the same because, again, that's all structural. That's fine. Your ASIs and your spellcasting and your extra attacks are all happening in the same place. So what we are just doing is we are taking the abilities that exist in these books and we're going to fix them or shift them and make them a bit better. What's a ranger? Okay, you wouldn't be saying, do you know who the most famous ranger in fiction is? It's Aragorn, son of Arathorn. If you're going to say you at that, you're entitled to that opinion. It's wrong, but you're entitled to it. So, without further ado, let's start with the class features. And I think at the start, we need to talk about what is the core feature of the Ranger. And I think it is... I think the...
I was going to say, it points at nothing.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little off screen. So I've got 2024 rules here. Oh no, my dragon. Tasha's Cauldron and everything over here. And just out of shot on my bedside table, I've got the original 2014 Player's Handbook. Sorry, I keep forgetting that this left arm doesn't exist in the camera because of where I'm sitting. But yes, so I like the idea behind what they were kind of going for with 2024, which was, we're going to build the Ranger around Hunter's Mark. I like that in concept. They fucked that concept. They did it horribly, but I like that idea. So, first proposal is that we remove Hunter's Mark as a spell, and we make it an ability as core with this. And an important part of that is going to be that this ability is going to be non-concentration, because just before the stream, I went and looked at the Ranger spell list, and do you want to know what 90% of those spells have in common?
Are they concentration, maybe?
They fucking are. All the really, really good Ranger spells are concentration. Things like Spike Growth, Healing Spirit, Beast Bond, Swift Quiver. So many of them.
So
if you're basing your...
Are you suggesting to me that the 2024 Player's Handbook, they gave us a class where its main feature prevented it using the majority of its spells?
I am saying that, Christopher. And I'm drinking about it.
That's fair. I would also drink about it.
I've got the bottle of whiskey just out of shot.
Now, I agree that if we're going to make Hunter's Mark a part of the core aspects of the class, then it can't be concentration. Yes. I agree with that. What I don't agree with is that it should be the thing we build everything around. Because this is my thing about Rangers, right? Okay? And this is why the 5e revised Ranger is my favorite Ranger to date. Okay? Rangers' greatest assets are having a bunch of stuff they do in and a bunch of stuff they do out of combat.
Yes.
And it's sometimes the situational aspect of a Ranger can make for really great roleplay. And that's one of the things. So, for instance, with the 5e revised Ranger, got a scaling favored enemy idea. And the idea being that you initially pick a really big archetype, then later you pick a smaller archetype, and later you pick a much more small archetype. And it gives you like wide base, strong middle, narrow top for like, these are the things that we're really fucking good at. Which in a camp, I'm saying that the revised Ranger turned its enemies into a pyramid scheme whilst being at the peak of it. And I think in a long campaign, that leads to huge amounts of character growth, because you start with really wide thing like just being heavy good at hunting beasts. Right? That doesn't tie you into anything too much. And also, like, you still need to be good. The class is still good enough at other stuff that it doesn't mean you're only good at fighting beasts. Then, as you develop in your DM story a bit more and you learn what the plot is, you learn what the main kind of enemies are, you can start to specialize and start to become really fucking good at the thing that are the main enemies of the campaign until you hit, like 17th, 18th level, and you could basically just say, this one cunt, this one bad guy, this is who I have dedicated my life to fucking up. And I think that as a scaling idea is brilliant. And I think it's
that's given me a really good idea for a later feature that I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with.
I'm here for it.
So
that's the thing I love about the revised Ranger favored enemy.
Yes, and as you and I have both seen, because in the campaign that I run in my off time and that Chris plays in, we have someone who is running the revised Ranger. And every time we come up against aberrations, I believe are their
currently, yeah,
thing.
Favorite.
They wreck shop. I mean, they wreck shop anyway because they're built nicely and I've done some nice things to them. But they really, really hit hard. And
yeah.
Since my campaign is there's a lot of aberrations in it, there's a lot going on there. I don't think favorite anime would be a good ability for a ranger. Sorry.
I'm here for. I don't know. I'm like maybe. Bearing in mind that my very first ranger was a fucking Naruto ripoff.
That's a very good point.
I kind of support favorite anime.
So
as a man of culture.
As a man of culture.
Sorry.
It's hard to pick in answer for Litavilia. It's hard to pick a favorite anime I've got. There's quite a few that nestle constantly in my brain, but that's mostly because I am shonen trash. Anyway, so for first level, I think there's three main things that I would like to do.
Okay.
I would like to establish the Hunter's Mark as an ability, where in combat you can select one enemy to particularly fuck up. And then when they die, you can use a bonus action to shift to another enemy. You do increased damage and build extra features on that later.
Fair.
And rather than something like the rogue sneak attack, where you just do more and more and more and more damage that gets crazy, I would maybe build onto you have a better chance of hitting them, or you can inflict effects on your favorite enemy. Because I think you're totally right about the balance of in and out of game stuff. Like, Rangers are phenomenal. Like, the one thing that they have stayed good at is walking that tightrope and managing that balance between in and out of combat. But in combat, I feel like the role that they should fulfill is picking a target and focusing down on it. Because I think that's maybe a niche that doesn't exist as much. Like, rogues are always trying to gain advantage and shift around and be sneaky. Fighters are constantly switching with their multiple attacks, as are monks, and barbarians are trying to tank damage along with the paladins. But being able to pick out a high priority target and say fuck you in particular, that I think is a good thing for the ranger.
Basically, assassin DPS. Pick one person and kill them dead.
Yeah, which of course does come into the issue of if you're having to deal with multiple opponents, that's where you have a problem and need to rely on your party, because there still needs to be some kinds of weaknesses built into a class. There needs to be things they're not good at. So I'm going to be probably borrowing some stuff heavily from Fighter and some other things. So I think in the model of Monk, we should do a scaling die.
Okay. I mean, a scaling die makes sense.
Yeah.
Realistically.
I think
everybody else gets one.
And it's added to your weapon damage, so you're already doing extra stuff with it. So like it's not like with the monk where that is your damage for your fist. This is added to a weapon, so you're already doing that bit. So it straddles that line between not having as many attacks as a monk, but not rolling as many dice as a rogue. So you kind of have that still balance of you're still doing really solid damage.
I mean, that's basically, you're basically structuring it the same way then as they do in Tasha's.
Kinda, yeah.
But better. Tasha's does.
Except
Yes, Tasha's starts a D4, becomes a D6 at 6th level and a D8 at 14th level, which is a bit shite.
I'd like to scale it a bit better. I think starting it at D4 is good, but I think it should scale up to a D12 eventually.
I agree. Sorry, I'm just banning a bot.
Banning a bot. So, and I'm going to, the other thing is your favorite enemy, which I think we should largely copy wholesale from the revised Ranger, because that's
I'm here for that.
Just solid. Especially
I
because
will
you get
say
extra bonuses to everything. But there's an extra feature I want to add to the favorite enemy later, which I think will work as a high level feature, which is basically you name one guy. You find a creature that you know the name of, and you can sort of dedicate that as like your one true nemesis. So if you have a BBEG, things you can do with it.
This is true.
That's
Here's a question then, because the Ranger, as with many classes, traditionally gets two things at first level. It gets your favorite enemy and you get your natural explorer. Now, if we start with, pardon me, I think if we start with getting, basically, I'm trying to, I think we should have what is termed favorite foe in Tasha's, what is termed favorite enemy in 2024.
I'm going to call the scaling damage ability, I'm going to call it Hunter's Mark, and then I'm going to just call the thing that you were talking for the revised Ranger favorite enemy, because it'll prevent confusion.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, I think if we're going to start with that at level 1, then it might be nice to take our exploration skill
to level 2.
Also from first level.
Oh, okay, good. Because I thought you were going to be saying, like, we're packing too much on level 1. Because the thing I do like is that Tasha's introduced the Deft Explorer.
Yes, which is great.
Which is really good. Deft Explorer is so fun.
It makes so much sense to everything.
Exactly. Gives you a boost in
like
skills.
That.
Later it gives you a movement boost, because Rangers should be swift.
Yes.
And then you get.
You get additional temporary hit points with short rests, which is exactly what I was going to say. Basically, it's exactly what Rangers should be doing, because you're constantly on the move. You should, like, of all the classes, the Ranger should make the best use of the adventuring day.
Yeah, I want to lift the. I think genuinely, I don't have any issues with the Deft Explorer from Tasha's. So I think we should just lift that wholesale.
I'm happy to do that.
Because, like at first level, you get 1 expertise and 2 additional languages.
Yeah, which is great.
And it's really funny that you can make a Ranger really easily make them into a genuinely incredible polyglot. It's really fun.
Yeah, just learn so many fucking languages.
My Ranger spoke like 9 languages. To the point where my GM was actually running out of languages to give me. And I'm so happy for him, because he gave me a particular encounter in which the fact that I learned to speak Null came in handy. Because I got half of the encounter to just fuck off and run away. Excellent. Not to fight the rest of them, but it was like, no, we've cut this encounter in half. Because some of them just went, nah, she's crazy. Right, really good. So yeah, Hunter's Mark, favorite enemy, Deft Explorer. So, for the sake of brevity, and so that you're not watching me just copy and paste a bunch of shit over and over, I'm going to, if we are lifting a feature from somewhere, I'm going to write it, and then underneath I'm just going to put the origin of it. So, and then I'll copy it in later, and when the fancy PDF goes up on the Patreon, along with all the other PDFs from our homebrew stuff, you will be able to grab it there. And it'll be nice, but it means that we can sort of condense this down, because we've got a lot of shit to do.
Yes.
but for new features, we're going to write them out in full. So, Hunter's Mark. As a bonus action, you can designate one creature you can see. You can mark one creature you can see.
I'm going to
range on
propose, instead of making it a bonus action that you enact beforehand, I am going to propose that you do it the same way that the favored foe does in Tasha's. I'm going to propose that when you hit a creature, you can you can mark it.
That's a good point.
If you hit it, you mark it.
I still want to do the bonus action shift. Just because.
Okay.
Yeah. When you hit a creature with an attack, you can mark them as your prey for 1 minute. That's a minute. Like this is meant to be a.
Yeah, a minute is the standard.
Yeah, a minute is the standard. This is meant to be a combat ability.
Yeah.
Just the first. No, hang on. I'm gonna say each time. Each time you hit the subject.
Wait, you're gonna do the damage on every hit?
Yeah, and do you know why?
Why?
Because Hunter's Mark has an equivalent spell that other classes can use. It's called Hex. Hex does this. Hex works on every hit. And I'm pretty sure the spell Hunter's Mark actually does on every hit as well.
Let me look that up.
Yeah, double check it before it's out of reach. But also, I think that's a good scaling for its damage, because it means when you get your extra attack at 5th level, that's a big jump.
Yeah, it means that basically is your damage.
Yeah.
Is your damage increase.
Each time you hit the subject of your Hunter's Mark with an attack, including the attack that triggered this ability. Just so you're not wasting that first attack.
In fact, the spell Hunter's Mark deal an extra d6 of damage to the target whenever you hit it with a weapon attack.
Yeah. This is why Favored Foe was, in essence, a good idea, but it had a couple of caveats on it that made me go, man, this is shit, and actually went to my DM and swapped off it back to the original Favored Enemy feature. I mean, the original.
Again, well, this. That's very fair. I mean, this is why I never picked that over the revised Ranger option.
See, I wanted to experiment with the Tasha stuff. I wanted to experiment with it, and I did.
I
hated part of it.
Yes, Deft Explorer, we love. Favored Foe. Started an idea, but didn't execute well.
I'm gonna stick with the kind of original idea of Hunter's Mark, because I think the new one is force damage, and I don't like that it's a prescribed kind of damage. I'm gonna say you're dealing extra damage of your weapon's type.
Yeah, of the weapon's type. Yeah.
Of your weapons type. Oh, that's another thing. For 2nd level, I think we're getting a fighting style. I think maybe we should also include the weapon mastery.
I think now that weapon masteries are a thing, we probably have to.
Yeah, because this is a martial class. Leaving it out of that is bad. And also weapon masteries are great.
Aye. And also, it's weapons mastery is a thing now, so we should do things with it. Oh my god, I'm scrolling through the 2024 Ranger, and I can't believe that they took the 10th level feature of Deft Explorer and just made it the 10th level ability.
Yep.
Fucking.
Oh no, never mind.
Also,
I was about to say, except they made it worse, but no, they didn't.
No. They also didn't do anything for 11th, 12th, 15th, or 16th level.
Nope. Well, no. 11th is a subclass feature, 12th is an ASI, What was the other levels you said?
15th and 16th.
Again, a subclass feature and an ASI, so that's fair.
Yeah, but it's just like you get shit on like every other level.
Yeah, but most classes don't get things along with their ASIs. There's a couple that I think get some with their first. Like at level
I just
4,
wasn't sure if that was like I had assumed that was different now for 2024. No, it's just that this is the way they've tried to make the Ranger better is just by giving it shit every turn.
Yep. It's bad. It's genuinely bad.
At level 18, you get blind sight.
Yeah, that's in the original as well. Except I think
blind
sight's actually worse in the original.
I imagine it is.
Okay.
Oh well. Anyway,
yeah,
we're getting distracted.
Yeah. Is equal to your hunter's mark die detailed in the Ranger table, and I'll fill that in later. I'm very much. I think I'm going to model it very much after the original monk, starting at a D4 and moving up to a D12, because that wasn't great for monks originally, but as bonus damage going on top of a weapon, I think it'll work.
Fair.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So
we've packed 3 things into first level.
To 0 hit points, you can use a bonus action to shift your mark onto another creature.
Hang on. When your target hits 0 hit points, oh no, and that's on the spell. You can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn of yours to mark a new creature.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And as long as it's still within the first minute.
I'm gonna say number of uses equal to, should we say, wisdom modifier?
Yeah. I mean, we need to. Again, one of the important things with the Ranger is that you need to have the option to go heavier on the magic if you want to.
You also need to have the option to go strength rather than dex.
Yes. So, yeah. And also, like, much as, Rangers, they need to be better at being able to choose strength or dex, because otherwise you're splitting between too many stats.
Yeah.
But also, like, I can't think of any, like, magical Ranger subclasses.
Not a lot. There's not really any that are focused on spellcasting. Maybe that's something that we should do later.
Yeah, we need to make a fucking, like, shaman or something Ranger.
This is the thing, if you want to do, like, a magic-focused Ranger, how many people will just kind of turn and be like, yeah, but why don't I just be a slightly melee druid?
Because you need to give the Ranger something different.
Yes, you do. Correct answer. Right, Hunter's Mark. Then it's favored enemy.
Yep.
Favored enemy. This is the revised Ranger.
Yep.
And then Deft Explorer. And that's Tasha's. Cool.
I am going to propose something because I do feel like throwing 3 abilities on first level is a bit much. Not a lot of other classes get 3 abilities at first level.
I mean, the only comparison I really have is Paladins, but they get all that shit at second level.
Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering, because at the moment we've got spell casting and a fighting style and weapon mastery. But I feel like the weapon mastery kind of goes with the fighting style at second level.
I mean,
or is it more of a separate thing? I don't fully understand weapon masteries beyond them being cool.
It's more of a separate thing. Like, weapon masteries are, you pick, I think, yeah, so you get 2 kinds, you get 2 weapon masteries in for Rangers, which I think we should keep. And essentially what you do is you're picking your specific weapon that you're using.
Yeah.
Which gives you bonuses for that, whereas a fighting style is more about changing your style of play. For example, things like the ranger has the druidic warrior, which gives you a couple of druid cantrips, or the defense fighting style giving you extra AC.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like it does build on it, but it's it's allowing you more specific customization.
Okay, I am going to. Okay, then here's my suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
At 3rd level, the ranger gets an ability called primal awareness or primeval awareness, depending what version of the ranger we're talking about.
Yes.
Now, certainly in Tasha's and in the OG ranger, it's shit.
Yeah, because primal awareness in Tasha's is actually, I kind of like it because it gives you some free casts of like some utility spells. It's all right. It's not amazing. It's all right. But the original is crap.
Yes, but equally well. The free cast of Speak with Animals, Beast Sense, Speak with Plants, Locate Creature, and Commune with Nature could all be covered better by subclasses, by just about anything.
Yeah, it's just for a class that has such few spell slots.
Yeah,
it's handy, but
like and this is the thing is, when you learn additional spells, read this class if you don't already know them. Spells don't cast against your number of spells. Cast each of these spells once without expending a spell slot. Well, compare that to the revised ranger, where it's a class feature instead of a spell. And it's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I think we move favored enemy to 3rd level.
Okay.
Because we're gonna scale it up a little bit higher as we go. We maybe fold the good bits of primeval awareness into a later edition of that kind of like favored enemy.
Okay.
So, previously where we had in the OG Ranger we had favorite enemy 1st level, favorite enemy a natural explorer improvements 6th level, further improvements at 10th level, further improvements at 14th level. The revised ranger did it at 1st and 6th, with kind of standalone stuff at 10th and 14th. I reckon we could put the 1st level of favorite enemy at 3rd, put primeval awareness and all its shit at 6th, take greater favorite enemy and throw it in at 10th or 9th.
So we're saying that we're taking primeval awareness and folding it into favorite enemy to give you that kind of...
Primarily because the primeval awareness on the revised ranger blends with favorite enemy. So for instance, additionally, you can attune your senses to determine if any of your favorite enemies lurk nearby. By spending one uninterrupted minute in concentration, you can sense whether any of your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of you. Feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance from you in miles.
I can't really argue with that, just in terms of flavor, because that's such a ranger feature. It's like, I smell orcs.
Absolutely, and also, but I think that I think we could fold that in and make it better and put it at 6th level.
Okay. That I like. So
right.
Cool.
And that means that we're not throwing too much in at 1st level. We're also not trying to stack 2nd level either.
2nd level is utility. Like, you get your spells and you get your fighting style. You
get a fighting style.
Mastery. So it's good shit. It's just all it's kind of small, but it's like 3 small things. That's good.
Well, it's 3 really like versatile and powerful small things.
And it matches up, I think, with the other half caster of Paladin.
Yes.
And Artificer, actually, now that I think about it, because 2nd level is when Artificers get their infusions.
There you go. So it goes with Smite and it goes with infusions.
Yeah, so it kind of balances out. Admittedly, I don't necessarily like that we don't have a special ranger thing there, but we're kind of doing it at the previous level, so it's okay.
Yeah, we've started with the special ranger thing.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just filling in the table.
Cool.
Okay, so 2nd level, spellcasting and fighting style and weapon mastery. We're not changing any of those. No. We're definitely not rewriting the ranger spell list, because holy fuck, that's going to take time.
Oh, God almighty, we're not doing that.
I think we've done enough, to be honest, by taking Hunter's Mark out of it and making it a core class ability, because it means you can have Hunter's Mark running and Spike Growth, for example, or Conjure Animals, where you could summon a bunch of weasels to kind of corral your enemy and take fucking pot shots at them.
Absolutely.
The amount of utility that allows the class. Fuck, man.
Yeah. And they have such a good range as well of fighting styles.
Yeah, they do. They get most of the things that fighters get.
Yeah. Plus they get all their own cool shit.
Yeah.
Archery, defense, dueling, 2-weapon fighting, and then in Tasha's they added blind fighting, druidic warrior, thrown weapon fighting.
Yeah.
For you, I really like some of the Unearthed Arcana ones that they had as well. Mariner and Tunnel Fighter.
Tunnel Fighter can fuck off.
Tunnel Fighter is great.
Tunnel Fighter is great. That's the problem. That's how you truly turn the Sentinel Polearm Master into a fucking god.
Yeah, so good.
Anyway.
Oh, man.
So, we're going to speed up a little bit. Because we spent quite a while on level 1. Level 2, we're not really changing anything. Keep the same weapon masteries. You get 2 of them. Spellcasting's the same. Fighting styles, they're the same, because I don't really have any quibbles with them at all.
Yeah.
3rd level, we've got our subclasses, which we're not building just now. And the favored enemy feature that we just talked about for the revised Rangers. That works up to 3rd level.
Absolutely.
4th level, we have our ASI or a feat, which, you know what? Fair. I can't really think of anything to put on that. 5th level, extra attack.
Yep.
Because we are a martial class, we're attacking twice. And with Hunter's Mark, which I think at this point would level up to a... Sorry, give me a second. Which, at 5th level, if I'm basing this on the monk, then your Hunter's Mark would also become a D6.
Alright.
At 5th level. So you're doing an extra... Say you're using a longbow, you're doing 2d10 plus 2d6 plus 6.
Yeah.
So you basically have you're doing a lot of single target damage.
Yeah.
6th level, Primeval Awareness, as we have, and we're gonna fiddle that a bit.
Absolutely. So let's fiddle.
I do feel a lot better now knowing that we've gotten up to
6th level?
Yeah, we've just jumped ahead, because that was about 40 minutes on level 1.
Yes, but level 1 is always the hardest.
Yeah, because you've got to really lay your groundwork.
Absolutely. Now, so Primal Awareness and Primeval Awareness, we have, there's 3 different versions, and then there's the 2024 one doesn't bother with it.
I have something I would like to add into this Primeval Awareness.
Go for it.
Because there is a feature in the 2024 book that I like, but that should be much earlier than 17th level where it currently is.
What the fuck?
17th level, you have advantage against a creature currently marked by your Hunter's Mark.
I feel that's really powerful at 6th level.
Yeah, so maybe add it in at 8th with the ASI, because I don't quite want to leave it. I don't want to quite leave it to 9th level.
Well, what's everybody else get at 9th level?
That's a good question.
Because Ranger gets literally nothing at 9th level. It's the empty level.
It gets expertise in 2024.
Yeah.
Sorcerer's a bad.
I would be tempted to put it in at 10th.
Okay.
So we're just before fighters get
a third attack,
3 attacks, which means that realistically, actually, it would mean at 10th level the ranger's probably doing more damage than the fighter and has advantage on all of its attacks.
Yeah, paladins get their new abjure foes thing.
Paladin, yeah, and they're getting auras and shit.
Yeah. Paladin, what is it? What does paladins get in? Paladins also don't get anything at 9th level in original.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay, yeah, let's add that in at 9th level, which is the Hunter's Mark improvement.
Yeah. So, all right, let me talk you through primal awareness and primeval awareness as they are, and the things that I think maybe are worth doing. So, in the OG primeval awareness,
we're not going to talk
in
about
3rd level.
Crap.
You can use your action and expend a spell slot,
which you have so few
to focus your awareness on a region around you for 1 minute per level of the spell slot you used. You can sense whether the following types of creatures are present within 1 mile of you, or within up to 6 miles if you're in your favored terrain. And then it lists a limited list. Doesn't reveal the creature's location or number. Yeah, now, I'm mentioning it because although it's total garbage, there's an idea in there that I want to follow up with. So, Tasha's says you can focus your awareness through the interconnections of nature. You learn additional spells when you reach certain levels in this class. These spells don't count against the number of ranger spells you know. Cast each of these spells once without expending a spell slot. I am not necessarily sold on that, but I can be persuaded.
I'm not going to try that hard to persuade you.
Okay, the revised ranger goeth thusly. You have an innate ability to communicate with beasts, and they recognize you as a kindred spirit. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas to a beast as an action, and can read its basic mood and intent. You learn its emotional state, whether it's affected by magic of any sort, its short-term needs, such as food or safety, and actions that you can take, if any, to persuade it not to attack. You cannot use this ability against a creature that you have attacked within the past 10 minutes. Additionally, you can attune your senses to determine if any of your favorite enemies lurk nearby. By spending 1 uninterrupted minute in concentration, you can sense whether any of your favored enemies are present within 5 miles of you. This feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance from you in miles. So, and if there are multiple groups of your favorite enemies within range, you learn this information for each group. So, the things I like in these 3, I mean, I like all of the revised Ranger one, but I also don't like that you can only tell your favorite enemies. So what I think would be good is I feel like primeval awareness, and maybe we make it, I don't know, maybe we separate it out into its 2 parts. We have one bit that is you can communicate with the birds and the bees and the plants and their knees. And one bit that is you spend a minute in concentration and you can detect all of the creatures around you within a mile, but you can detect your favorite enemies within 5 and get all the additional information.
Right, because the thing I would have said is you can declare one kind of creature, and then spend a minute trying to find it. Because you're like, if you think about it, like you have a thing you're following. Because it's not necessarily you're not necessarily always going to be following your favorite enemy.
Yeah.
But you might be, say your favorite enemy is beasts, but you're looking for a guy who has stolen a bunch of shit, and you're trying to track him down. You can name a kind of creature and then spend the minute basically in concentration trying to pick up their trail.
See, my issue with that is that, like, your tracker as a character and as a class, and particularly since we're now bringing this up to a higher level to introduce it.
No, we're not.
Part of the purposes of we are, we're in 6th level.
Forget what I fucking said.
Absolutely. Your tracker in fiction looks at the area around them and sees everything that's gone through.
There's a cow that way. It's a dragon that way.
Yeah.
There's 4 chickens carrying a dude that way.
So I think there needs to be like just a base level that says any ranger who has reached level 6 is skilled enough to be able to tell what's in the general vicinity of where you are. But a ranger who is specialized in finding undead can tell where all the undead are because they have that innate link. So there's like a physical manifestation of I can see dragon droppings over there, the footprint of a goblin there, a ferret is poking its nose out over there, and the spiritual bit that goes, and I can smell undead 5 miles that way, and we're gonna fucking get them. Or the orcs are taking the hobbits to Isengard.
Yeah, to quote a character I think actually makes a pretty decent argument for being a ranger, of Sergeant Angua from the Discworld. Carrot, I can smell if a vampire's been in here in the last month.
Exactly. Like that's the thing I think that is, that is needed in rangers, because nobody else has that kind of stuff. But with rangers, if you make it too situational, then it doesn't matter that they have this stuff because they can't use it. Yeah. So there needs to be that balance that goes, I can tell there's a bunch of shit around, but if my shit's here, I can tell you time, date, and how much it's drunk.
Yeah, I did want to do a version of favored terrain, but I don't think it's going to fit in here.
That's fair.
Just because I thought it would be cool to do favored terrain, but have the ability to change it by studying the terrain. But I don't like that would need to be introduced well before now. And we can't fit it. We've put too much shit in to allow that, and it's
pretty much.
We can make it work just by having Deft Explorer.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so
and also, so that's what I think with primeval awareness is we need that. In terms of the communicating with beasts thing, I kind of like the Tasha's. You can talk with animals, talk to plants. Like, I don't like that it does it through spells, but I like the idea that you should be able to talk to all the flora and fauna. But we could also maybe save that for later and make it better. I also know where I would put it.
Where the sun doesn't shine?
No, because there's 2 rangers' abilities that render each other pointless, which are the 10th and 14th level abilities.
Tireless and Nature's Veil?
Nature's Veil and Vanish.
Oh, I'm looking at the new one, yeah. Yeah, because Vanish is at 14th level, and then Hide in Plain Sight in the original, yeah.
Yeah, which becomes Nature's Veil in Tasha's.
Yeah.
Which, it
does.
And I'm like, you could keep one of them and make the other one, you can now just talk to all the animals in the trees. Which is kind of what druids do.
I mean, druids have these spells. Like, this is the thing is, I'm pretty sure all the spells that are on this list are ranger spells. Like, they're all within the spell list. So they're not encroaching on anybody's territory. Pretty sure druids get all of those as well.
I'm gonna just have a quick look now. Beast Bond is definitely in there. Speak with animals is definitely in there. Yeah.
Sense, speak with plants, locate creature, and commune with nature. I think all of which are druid, but also all of which are ranger.
Yep.
So
it's like they're really not essential. Like they do in fact. They're
handy spells. They're very handy spells, but they're not. Yeah. None of them are game breaking by any sense of the word.
No, and they are all in the ranger spellbook.
Yeah. So I think what we do is we have your detection thing. We've got a good amount of shit to be doing in combat at this time. I don't think we need any like combat features in this ability.
No.
So I think we have that, and we have the spell list.
Fair.
So
Don't feel that makes it. I mean, yeah. Don't. Yeah, I was gonna say.
does that?
Not too broken.
I mean, this is the thing. Is that's kind of why I feel comfortable with it. Is that the detection thing you've got is really, really good. But I can't think of a way to break it.
Yeah, there isn't really.
Yeah.
Like, you can't stack it with anything.
Yeah, and the information it gives you is useful, but there's no way to really kind of bend it round the rules and batter it.
And also, actually, if you put the spell list, the fun thing you can do is you can spend a minute, figure out that there's some stuff in the area, and then you can go talk to the badger that you found and be like, I found you, Mr. Badger. Can you please tell me what else is around here?
That's the things. I think they mesh quite well.
Deal.
So yeah. You can, if you, you power to take prey across great distances. If you spend 1 uninterrupted minute, because I like the idea of you being ambushed in the middle of this, as a thing that a DM can do, to be like, okay, I need to fuck with this a little bit. In concentration, you can, right. What was it you said?
So, by spending 1 under concentration, you can detect any creatures within a 1 mile radius.
I've written milt.
You can tell, and I think you can. I would say that you can probably tell. You know, like. I think you.
This range is increased to 5 miles for your favorite enemy.
I think you need. I think so. I'm gonna throw something in here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to roll for the amount of information that you get, unless it's the favorite enemy.
Okay.
Or does that make it too much of a thing anyone could do?
It's not so much that it makes it too much of a thing that anyone can do. I think that actually comes out as more work for both the DM and the player.
Fair enough. In which case, then let's just go with.
How would you structure that? Would you do it like a D20 table? Would you do it as a sort of like percentile dice? Kind of.
I feel like you do it as like a nature roll or survival roll.
I mean, that means you have to use nature or survival.
That's true. All right. Never mind. Right. Well, yeah. So I think. So. Let's go with. This feature reveals their rough numbers and general direction. This is for the things within 1 mile.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. Say that again.
Okay. By spending one uninterrupted minute in concentration, you can sense any creatures within a 1 mile radius of you. This feature reveals their rough numbers and general direction.
I'm gonna say should maybe say general. General direction. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm gonna add in, that's some of the stuff that you get for your favorite enemy, and then I'm gonna add the precision for the favorite enemy.
Yeah.
So that's the. In addition, this feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present within 5 miles of you. colon. Their numbers, direction, and a distance from you in miles. Or in this case, distance parentheses in mile, close parentheses, from you. If there are multiple groups of your favorite enemies within range, you learn this information for each group.
Yep.
That feels like a good 6th level ability. And also, you can arguably, upcast it at later times by just increasing the distance. As if we need some extra stuff to fill in a level.
And this is the thing, yeah, if you wanted to improve this ability, what I would do is maybe actually borrow from the original one and say you can spend a spell slot to increase the range.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Or even you can, or
it's not great, but...
or we could do a thing later to be like, you can expend a resource to learn something really specific about one creature.
We can maybe, because I want to add that in later as a high level feature of name a guy, one creature you know the name of, and you get fucking in on them.
Yeah, I think that would be bang on.
Yeah, which also means, hey Dungeon Masters, give your BBEG minions.
Always.
Because that is what you're going to worry that your ranger's going to do too much damage to your BBEG. Bring out minions and mobs, because that is what will fuck the ranger up.
It's what the ranger is for finding.
Exactly.
But it will fuck up the ranger that we are building. Yes.
It's when you're laser focused, you have to rely on your party to deal with the area things, and that's where things like druids, wizards, and sorcerers shine, because they get all the big AOE shit.
See, this is why my first ranger I made a hunter ranger, because they are actually specifically for with them you can choose if you want to do multiple enemies or you want to do focus in on one, which is really quite fun.
Yeah.
But they're very good. Hunter rangers are actually some of the best kind of crowd control subclasses, in my opinion.
I do disagree with you there, but
I just think things like multi-attack defense, multiple forms of multi-attack that you can get. I don't think they're the best, but I think they hold their own. Plus they get evasion, although they get it at 15th level, which is stupid.
Here's the thing, is it's 15th level and you get either evasion or uncanny dodge, whereas the rogue has both of those by 7th level.
Yes, but we're also not rogues.
We're not rogues, but for fuck's sake, I think we should be able to stack up to rogues.
I would like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which is a shame.
That's why we're making our own ranger.
The thing I like about the new rogue, where they can subtract sneak attack dice to do extra effect, I think that would fit really well on ranger. But we're not going to do that.
No, we're not.
But
because we're doing fuck this one guy in particular.
Do a ranger rogue multi-class. It'll be really fucking scary.
I would like to do a ranger rogue multi-class.
Problem is which one are you putting the the primary levels in?
For me, probably ranger, because rogue you get a lot of the good stuff really early.
Yeah, I would maybe cap out at 5th level for rogue.
Yeah.
Because then you get all your expertise, you get a decent sneak attack, you get the fucking the bonus action shit.
Yeah.
Cunning action, thank you.
There you go.
And you get uncanny dodge, which is so fucking good.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry. We're also gonna add in the spell list from Tasha's.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put that in parentheses. Also, steal the spell list thing from Tasha's and adjust the levels. So I think if I adjust the levels up, Because at 6th level you would already have speak with animals and beast sense.
Yeah.
From that, so I'm gonna. That one's gonna require some careful fiddling, so I will do that off stream and later.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right.
7th level.
7th level.
Subclass.
Yep.
Don't need to do anything there. 8th level. ASI. Don't need to do anything there.
Yep.
9th level.
Now we
Hunter's Mark Improvement.
Hunter's Mark Improvement. But we also just said we were going to bump something up to the 9th level.
Yeah, it was that.
What did we say?
The advantage on Hunter's Mark.
Oh yes, the advantage on Hunter's Mark. All right. Okay, can we do that and throw in greater favored enemy?
We were going to do that at 10th.
Okay, we'll do that at 10th.
Yeah,
there we go. I remember shit. Hang on a second. Revised Ranger did something at 8th. Give me a second. Revised Ranger does something at 8th level called Fleet of Foot.
Oh,
hey!
You get land stride.
Dash is a bonus action.
Yeah, this is, to be fair, land stride is actually is a decent one. Which is...
It's also not like anything huge.
Yeah, it's basically you ignore difficult terrain.
Non-magical difficult terrain costs you no extra movement. You can also pass through non-magical plants without being slowed by them, without taking damage from them. In addition, you have advantage on saving throws against plants that are magically created or manipulated to impede movement. Such are created by the Entangle spell. That's fun and kind of specific.
I think...
You want to put that... You want to just throw that in at 8th, since it was... And take the original one. Take, like, the OG Ranger Land Stride.
Hey, dragon!
As opposed to dash as a bonus action, which is the
really,
revised Ranger
option.
I don't
give a shit about dashing as a bonus action as Ranger. So, at 6th level, we get the roving ability, which is the increase your walking speed by 5 feet, and you get the climbing and the swimming speed. That's at 7th level.
That is true.
That's at 6th level. Sorry. So I think what we actually might want to do. Yeah, I think you're right. I think if we slot this in at 8th.
Yeah. Land Stride, which is again where it is originally. So actually, one thing the OG Ranger got right.
The OG Ranger got a couple of things right. It just didn't get.
I love the OG Ranger. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I do want to change it. It does
what do you want to change?
Well, it does specify non-magical.
Yeah, it does specify non-magical difficult terrain.
Yeah, and I'd like to.
You want to just say? Sure, I have no issue with that. I mean, that also makes Rangers the only people that can move through difficult terrain with no difficulty, except those with a flying speed, which is pretty fucking cool.
And you know what? I think that's a really good thing for a Ranger to have.
I also think it gives them one mobility thing over the monk.
Yes.
Because monks get way more speed than Rangers do.
One level after this is when the monk gets the truly fucking insane unarmored movement stuff, which is the running up walls and running on water.
Yeah. So it's nice that Rangers can move through difficult terrain.
So I'm just going to lift this one wholesale.
Yeah.
I would maybe, if anyone was worried about a compromise, I would maybe cut off the second half of it, where you have advantage against plants and shit.
Yeah.
So I'll do that as a compromise, because I think that's
because actually, like, having an advantage to entangle, and also I'm just looking at it, if you wanted to be a real cunt to your DM, you could 100% read the first half of Land Stride as meaning that you are immune to spike growth.
That's the thing. Well, no.
You could 100%. Look,
no,
non-magical without being slowed by that. Oh yeah, it specifies non-magical, but like, it's because we're taking out the non-magical bit, and without being slowed, without taking damage from them if they have thorn spikes or similar hazards. Should an 8th level character be immune to spike growth? In fairness, nobody is going to take an 8th level dip in Ranger just for this.
That's the thing. Once you get past level 5 and maybe level 6, you're kind of past the point where people are taking dips into this class.
Yeah, like you're safe from multi-class.
Yeah, you're safe from people multi-classing into this to get bonuses. And admittedly, for a 1 level dip in Ranger, you're getting probably you are getting a good bonus. Like Ranger, we have made Ranger a very good 1 level dip.
Yeah.
And a decent 2 level dip because you're getting a couple of spell slots, a fighting style, and a couple of weapon masteries. Like, I'm just saying, if a monk multiclassed 1 level into this Ranger, it would fucking wreck shop.
Well, particularly because both would just be Wisdom Dex builds.
Monk Ranger is a good build. It's just the fact that
it's
hard to balance, and there's usually more shit that you want in Monk. Because later Monk abilities are usually really good.
Yes.
Diamond Soul, baby! Anyway, so Land Stride, level 8. Level 9, Hunter's Mark Improvement.
Yep.
I'm going to call this Hunter's Prey.
That works for me.
Do we want to add anything else to this?
No. I think that's right, because you're also getting 3rd level spells at 9th level.
That's very fair.
10th, though, we get fun stuff, because 10th is where we're going to put in Greater Favored Enemy. Yup. And also, the important thing with Greater Favored Enemy, your bonus to damage rolls against all your favored enemies increases to +4.
Yep.
This is the good thing, is you can learn all of the stuff about them, and you can fucking do shit tons of damage, and learn their language. Advantage on saving throws against the spells and abilities used by your Greater Favored Enemy. This is the point. It is that the dragon-obsessed scaly freak in your party should have total advantage and massive damage against Tiamat because they love them so much.
Because while the bard will try and fuck the dragon, the ranger will fuck the dragon up.
So you can say the ranger will be the dragon.
No, I want to.
The ranger will slay the dragon and wear its skin to Comic-Con.
You ever played Monster Hunter? That is what the ranger should be. A Monster Hunter character.
Agreed.
Right.
Right,
so,
now,
10th level, we're just lifting Greater Favored Enemy wholesale.
Pretty much.
'Cause it's a pretty fucking bitching ability. I want to build on it later, probably in like one of the last abilities. To make it sort of like...
Yeah. The only thing I think that needs to be discussed then is the other 10th, the more traditional 10th level abilities of the ranger.
If we are lifting Deft Explorer as well from Tasha's, at 10th level we are getting Tireless, which is, as an action, temporary hit points, 1d8 plus your wisdom, and get up to your proficiency bonus and get them all back in a long rest, and when you finish your short rest, your exhaustion level decreases by 1.
Which is fantastic.
To be fair, in a campaign where exhaustion matters, that's fucking great. I'm not a big fan of the temporary hit points thing, but to be fair, there isn't a time limit on them.
No.
So you do it after you wake up.
Yeah.
The only thing I would maybe do, and I can fully acknowledge that this is potentially really fucking overpowered, would be that I would improve Tireless by saying that you can spend a spell slot to increase the amount of d8s you roll for hit points. I'm happy to be shouted down on that one. It's just because I feel...
A d8 plus your wisdom mod caps out real quick, especially at 10th level.
Yeah, because at 10th level, it's probably capping out at 13.
Yeah.
Now, as you have experienced, having played between 10th and 14th level, things are doing a lot more than 13 damage a hit.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And also, I kind of feel like, all right, so remember what I said about Rangers should be able to make the most use of the adventuring day?
Yeah. So I like the short rest thing.
So here's my thought for Tireless. We increase the roll for the temporary hit points, but rather than saying you can just do it a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, we make it when you wake up. So every time you finish a short rest, every time you finish a short rest, you gain X number of temporary hit points.
Okay.
The idea being that, like, everybody gets a benefit from a short rest, but you get the most benefit.
Yeah, it's kind of like how, like, some classes do have other features that improve short rest. Most notably would be Bards with Song of Rest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So maybe jack it up a little bit. I don't want to make it crazy, but
No. And I don't think it should be crazy, but I do think that it's the kind of thing that should mean that Rangers who are not frontline fighters necessarily, you can build them to be if you want to, but I think that after a short rest, they should be okay to be the first person into a fight and then hang back the rest of the time till the next rest.
And since it is once per short rest when you wake up, as opposed to an action you can take multiple times, I think we can jack it up quite high, because I'm thinking 2d10, 3d10 plus wisdom.
A number of d10 equal to your wisdom modifier?
That would cap out at 5d10, which means you would be able to have up to 55 temporary hit points, which is kind of nuts.
That's insane.
That's insane.
All right.
Which also means I'm not entitled to proficiency bonus either, because that will end up at 6d10.
Well, how about wisdom mod d6?
Okay. Because let's say 5 times 6 is 30, so 35.
Yeah, and the thing is that
caps out,
that way it gives it a little bit of scaling, but also caps out. And also 35, even when you're hitting like 15th, 16th level, 35 is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, like it's enough that it'll save your life.
Yeah, and also you might not have a +5 to your wisdom at 10th level. Realistically, you've only had 2 ASIs.
That's the thing, yeah, because I mean, and because Rangers suffer from a little bit of the mads, yeah, you're right actually.
So I think that gives it good scalability.
Okay.
All right, and then that means that so if we've got Tireless and we've got Greater Favored Enemy as our 10th level, that works.
Yeah, that's a pretty good 10th level.
That is pretty good 10th level.
Whenever you finish a short rest, you gain temporary hit points equal to. I'm gonna keep the exhaustion thing as well from Tasha's, because
I like
flows
that.
into it really good, and it's very good. And again, gives you more reason to short rest. A number of d6s equal to your d6s plus your wisdom modifier. The number of d6s is equal to your wisdom modifier, just to keep that nice and clear. In addition, your exhaustion level, if any, decreases by 1. Yeah, I think that's a good little update of Tireless.
Yeah.
Okay, 11th level subclass. Don't need to bother.
12th level,
12th
ASI.
level,
Don't need to
ASI.
bother.
Don't need to bother. 13th level. Right, this is where things get crazy. Because in the OG Ranger, there's nothing.
Nothing.
Because you get
In
4th
OG
level
Ranger,
spells.
nothing. In
the new one!
Tasha's, nothing. In fucking Revised Ranger, nothing.
No, in
What do we get in the new one?
Yeah, in the new one, it's you can't break your concentration on Hunter's Mark, which we built into the feature from the start. So
we did.
We're fine there, because that's a shit ability to get at 13th level. That's a truly shit ability. However, now that I think about it, I'd like to take inspiration from it.
Oh.
Because we have allowed a bit more utility with spell casting with the Ranger here.
We have.
And a lot of Ranger spells are concentration.
Yes.
So what we could maybe do is give you a big fat bonus to your concentration checks.
Okay. I have no issue with that in theory.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it should come with something else.
I think it should, but I think I think flat adding your wisdom modifier to your concentration checks, because then you're doing
at 13th level is fair. Yeah,
that's good, because at that point you're adding, let's say you're a marshal, so you'll have decent constitution. So let's say you have a +3 in constitution and a +4 or 5 in wisdom. That's already a +7 or 8 to your roll of a d20, which can make a big difference, considering how a concentration check is half the damage you took in one hit, or 10, depending on which is higher.
Yeah.
So if you take low damage, that means that the only way you could fail would be by rolling a nat 1.
Yeah.
Ish. So I think that's good, because it means that if you're dealing with lots of little hits, your concentration break isn't really going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Especially because you've got some crowd control things like Conjure Animals, Spike Growth, Swift Quiver. You've got a lot of things that it can be quite essential. And here's the thing, losing concentration for a Ranger is actually a bigger deal than it is for a full caster, I would say, because you have such limited spell slots.
Agreed.
And losing one of those slots, that's a big deal.
Yeah, it costs a lot.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that. And you know what? Just as a fuck you to the 2024 book, I'm gonna steal the name as well. So, Relentless Hunter. Now, I want you to think of something to add to this, because I think another small thing to add would be good.
Well, this is what I'm kind of stuck in at the moment is, so one of my issues with Rangers is that the 10th and 14th levels abilities are ostensibly the same or cancel each other out.
Yeah.
In the OG Ranger, Hide in Plain Sight gave you a +10 to stealth rolls. And at 14th level, you can use the hide action as a bonus action and can't be tracked by non-magical means.
Which again,
it's like
rogues can do that at level 2.
Yeah, it's kind of pointless. Tasha's tried to improve on it, actually in not a bad way. At 10th level, you draw on the powers of nature to hide yourself from view. As a bonus action, you can magically become invisible along with any equipment you are wearing or carrying until the start of your next turn. So there's no rolling involved. You just get to turn invisible for a turn, a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, which is okay.
Yeah, it's all right, and it's good for moving around, avoiding opportunity attacks, and setting up advantage.
Yeah.
But with the way we have given the 9th level ability, and you're focusing down on one opponent, you already have advantage on the guy you want to hit.
So it's not the best.
It just becomes defensive, which admittedly is not bad. Like a defensive feature, I'm not going to complain about. But just to
that's a shout, actually.
Beloved monk. Again, at 14th level in the original monk, you get proficiency in all saving throws and the ability to reroll saving throws with a key point.
Okay,
I
yeah.
can't remember what the fucking new one gets. What does the absolute destroyer of worlds 2024 monk get at 14th level? The same. The same. They just changed the name. So,
here's a thought then. Here's a thought.
what do paladins get? Because the paladin is our most direct comparison. Have your thought.
What do paladins? Yeah, what do they get?
New paladins get restoring. Okay, we're not going to talk about new paladin because do you know what they fucking get?
What do they get?
When you use your lay on hands on a creature, you can also remove one of the following conditions: blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, or stunned. You must expend 5 hit points from the healing pool of lay on hands. These points.
You used to be able to do that from start.
I think.
That was base lay on hands in the OG game.
I think the base lay on hands in the original is diseases, not conditions. That's basically the effect of lesser restoration at 15th level.
Yeah, it's grim.
That's not great. I'm still not a fan of what they did to the paladin.
No. I mean...
well, actually, you know...
At 13...
Right. Original paladin. Cleansing touch. You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or on one willing creature that you touch. And you can use a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can end a frightened condition, but say your say your friend is you're high level. Say your friend is under the effect of phantasmal killer.
Be gone, Satan.
They're like, no. No. Honey, no.
Is that a 13th level?
That's 14th level for the
14th level
abilities for the paladin. Yeah.
So this is
new paladin shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to rebuild that as well. No, we don't have to rebuild that. We just have to point to 2014 and be like, it's fine. It's
great.
Fine.
Keep it.
Anyone who complains about paladins being too OP doesn't understand that they have a couple of pretty fucking glaring weaknesses.
Lack of spell slots.
Lack of spell slots, lack of range, and serious burn through of resources.
The lack of range, I have to say, gets me so fucking often, man.
Yeah.
It's just... Yeah. Oh, man. Samson has no fucking range. It's one of the reasons why I multi-classed into Sorcerer, was to get something that I could have range with.
Yeah, because your previous use of range was pick up one of your friends and throw them at them. I
did have javelins for a while. I think I still have a couple.
Like, you have
but
javelins,
they're shit.
You specifically cannot smite with thrown or ranged weapons.
Yep.
Which, you know what, I'm fine with.
Oh god, it's absolutely the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. Well, so Rangers ostensibly then at 13th level they get 4th level spells.
Yeah,
that's what they get at 13th level.
And we're giving them the bonus to concentration checks.
Yes. So I'm gonna happy with leaving that at 13th and moving on to 14th and doing more things.
Yeah, honestly, I think...
And that's going to be fixing Vanish.
I think that concentration ability, because you have so many concentration spells, I think that's just going to... That'll pay massive dividends. It doesn't need to be...
I think that will... Yeah.
So 14th level.
14th level, we need to fix Vanish. Because Vanish is shit. Now, I really like what you said about it needing to be a retreat ability.
Having a defensive ability, I think, is nice. I think we can fucking, like, Vanish, as in the original, I think we can kill with knives.
Oh, God, yeah. But, Jay, do you remember my favourite Warlock archetype?
The Feylock.
What does the Fey Warlock get at, like, 5th level?
When you get attacked, you can turn invisible and fuck off.
Yes! Yes, you can.
Okay.
I think we should, but that, admittedly, that's once per long rest. But I think still, we could model this as give the Ranger a reaction that lets them fuck off.
Well, that's the thing, because I think that... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Ranger doesn't have
any reactions.
It has one, which I believe is absorb elements.
It's a spell, though.
Yeah, but that's the only kind of reaction thing that a ranger would get.
Yeah. It doesn't have any reaction abilities.
It has no reaction abilities at all, but I think reaction spells are pretty thin on the ground.
I'm just looking. Absorb elements. Looking through 3rd level now. Looking through 4th level. Looking through 5th level.
Pretty sure.
Yep, absorb elements is its only one.
So, let's give rangers a reaction, and it's 14th. Like the ability you just quoted, I'm pretty sure is either 1st or 6th level.
It's super early in the Fey Lock.
Really early. It's like one of the Fey Warlock's first abilities.
Yeah. It's fucking great. It's the thing I love the most about the Fey Warlock.
Let's actually have a quick look, because I've got the Fey Warlock is in here. Misty Escape, it's 6th level, which is you take damage, use your reaction to turn invisible, teleport up to 60 feet, and yeah, once
then that's it.
Rest.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It also doesn't put any stipulations on the invisibility, by the way. You just turn invisible and fuck off. Oh, does it?
Remain invisible until the start of your next turn or until you attack or cast a spell.
Okay, that's alright. That's
still, like, again, here's the thing.
That's phenomenal.
That's really good. The thing is, we're 8 levels past that.
We are.
Like, again, the reason I am comfortable making the Relentless Hunter thing, we spoke about it a minute ago, but we are beyond the point where people are taking dips into this to boost other classes, which is why I'm okay having that concentration boost be that high up.
Yeah. Because nobody's going to take 13 levels in Ranger just to get that.
Yeah, because like
at this point, we're maining in Ranger here.
Fucking kill for that ability.
Yeah.
But also, 13 levels in Ranger, 7 levels in Druid. I think actually a pretty fucking solid build.
I have no issue with that. Yeah, what do you get 7th level as a Druid?
I'm just checking. You have, as a Druid, 7th level, you have 4th level spells, or you wouldn't, because of multi-classing rules, so...
Yeah.
You'd still be fairly low on the spell slots, but you'd have...
I mean, you'd be significantly better spell slots than just being a Ranger.
You'd have your Primal Strike, sorry, hang on, because you'd have 7 levels plus half of your Ranger levels rounded down to 6. So
you'd be a 13th level full caster.
You'd be a 13th level caster, yeah. Which means you'd have your 7th level spell, Jesus.
There you go.
That's fucking good. But that would be that as a 20th level character.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be pretty fucking good, actually. There
you go.
But yeah, you get like potent spell casting, Primal Strike. I'm looking at the new one, and they get a bunch of wild shape shit. That's Yeah, I mean...
Be a bear with your bear companion.
Yeah. We bears. Did I ever tell you about that plan I had for Baldur's Gate 3? I just wanted to rock up to the final boss fight as 12 bears. Because the final ability for the bear summon for the Beastmaster Ranger, because Beastmaster Ranger in Baldur's Gate is good, is instead of summoning 1 bear, you summon 2 bears. It's just really funny to me. There's like put levels in Druid, become bear, and just the entire game is just fucking 12 bears roaming across the land, flattening everything in front of them. Oh,
I do enjoy that.
It's fun.
Yeah,
14th level. I think we can kind of stick with taking the Misty Escape kind of route. So I think what you should be able to do is when you are hit with an attack, you can move up to your speed, which at this point is probably 35 feet.
Yeah.
Because you got roving. Without provoking attacks of opportunity, obviously.
Yeah.
I think you should get to make an attack on them.
I agree. This is my thing. I feel like do you want to fold that into the reaction? Like, you move 35 feet and do a ranged attack?
No. I don't want to limit it to ranged attacks.
Fair.
Because here's the thing, is like, if you're in a melee
you're in a melee
and you're playing melee, and
you've probably got melee weapon out.
Yeah, you're focusing on somebody and then his mate comes up and gets you.
Yeah.
Being able to sort of like hit him like that and bounce off.
Alright,
so
here's my suggestion then.
There's kind of 3 things, because I want to do some movement to kind of get you out of that situation, because that does well for ranged characters.
Mm-hmm.
There is doing an attack, 1 weapon attack.
Yep.
The
third thing, let's see if you and I are on the same page with this.
I'm thinking some kind of damage reduction.
Oh, I was thinking move your hunter's mark before you hit them. As a reaction, shift your hunter's mark, smack and run.
I mean, that's the thing, is do we want to make this ability more offensive or defensive? Because I think both options are valid, because at this point your hunter's mark is doing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah.
And that's punishing somebody really heavily for fucking with you, which I'm all for. That's a really good ability. And I think would make a player feel powerful.
Yes.
That would make a player feel quite powerful.
And this is the thing.
Mine's a bit more utilitarian, but I think the player feeling is a bit more important.
I agree. And also I think that the subclasses and the fighting styles are where we get defense from. I think we're still on core abilities. And our core ability, we've decided, is Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, okay. Then we need to come up with a better name for this. You come up with a name, I'm going to start typing.
I mean... Yeah. Call it Vicious Retreat.
I like that. You can immediately shift your Hunter's Mark to the source of that damage and make 1 attack against it, provided that it is within range, just to allow that little caveat.
Yeah.
But it does mean that if you are playing a melee ranger and somebody shoots you, you can immediately turn focus to them, and you could use this ability to approach them.
You could
just do the full JoJo, like I can't kick your ass without getting any closer.
Yeah, but also if you do not prescribe the order of mark, stab, and run, or you can definitely prescribe the order of mark, stab, and run.
I think mark, stab, and run is a good.
I think it's the right order, generally speaking.
Yeah. To your movement speed. Without provoking attacks of opportunity. I'm gonna make and he specify that as 1 weapon attack.
Yeah.
But also, just imagine how fucking terrifying that is. You've got somebody who is in the midst of things, slashing around with like their 2 scimitars or whatever. You take a shot at them, hits them in the shoulder, they just turn around and be like, "You bitch!" and just start fucking hauling ass towards you. Like, how terrified would you be as an archer? Like, the guy you shot turns around, stares through you, and just fucking T-1000 straight at you.
I mean, that's pretty delightful. I'm here for it. I'm very here for it.
Oh.
And again, like it doesn't give you the same mobility as a monk.
No.
But it gives you enough that you're still mobile, and rangers should be mobile.
Yes, rangers shouldn't be like static turrets. Admittedly, there is an unearthed subclass that does that, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, but like that's a subclass.
Yeah, this is actually, if I just, where's my copy of Xanathos? Because this is a little bit like the Swashbuckler's panache ability.
I mean, I was halfway to trying to rip off the Swashbuckler's fucking riposte.
Yeah, because blah 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 blah. Yeah, you get your rakish audacity. No, it's your fancy footwork, which is when you hit someone, that guy can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of the turn. So you have that ability to stab and move away, but other people can still take opportunity attacks. This is nobody can take it.
Yeah. And actually, I think one of the important things that we haven't mentioned about the Ranger is the Ranger is restricted to medium armor.
Yes.
Light and medium armor. Like the Ranger is not. The Ranger is not the monk. You can't just put enough points into Dex and your Ranger is untouchable. Like your Ranger's always going to be touchable, which is one of the reasons why like the temp health is good.
Yeah.
Because you're not a barbarian, you're not a fighter, you're never going to be walking around with 20 plus AC.
So I think at max without magic, your Ranger can get 18 AC with just base equipment, because that's medium armor plus 2 from Dex. I think medium armor caps out 14 plus Dex.
Yeah.
Doing the right, Dragon. We're rebuilding the Ranger because Wizards of the Coast keep fucking it.
Yep.
And they get shield. Rangers do get proficiency in shields, right?
I can't remember.
I think they do. They do.
I have the player's hand.
They do. Yes. So that will be
light armor, medium armor, and shields. Yeah.
Plus the 2 plus a shield, so like 18. Whereas like that's with good medium armor.
Yeah.
So I think again we've got to bring the direct compare. Well, hey.
Hey. Dragon! Everybody likes to fuck dragons. You'd be fine. You'd find a scaly to love you.
Yeah, you go find a bard.
Absolutely, go be a bard.
Go find a bard and father a sorcerer. Do it. Oh my god, did you ever see that post that was a concept for a D&D campaign where everybody's, oh hi Badger. Badger. Everybody's playing.
Oh, everybody's
like playing different, like half
human.
And it turns out they're all looking for the same guy as their one dad, and they're basically chasing down for fucking child support.
It's so good. It's so good.
I so want to do that. If you are a bard, then I think you need to find another dragon.
Absolutely. Go.
Anyway.
Right. Anyway, we were...
Vicious Retreat, we called this.
Vicious Retreat.
That's viscous.
14th level ability. Yeah, it's not a viscous retreat, Jake.
A viscous retreat. Ah! That's only if you have oozes as your favorite enemy.
Absolutely. Swimming through them.
How often should you be able to take this reaction? Because being able to do this every single time you get hit would be insane.
So, if we take other things for things, viscous retreat, snail trail, yes it is. Nature's Veil, which is the 10th level ability to become invisible as a bonus action from Tasha's, is equal to your proficiency bonus. Regain all uses when you finish a long rest.
But we have locked everything else to wisdom modifier.
We have.
So I think wisdom modifier per short rest, shall we say?
I'm here for wisdom modifier per short rest. I'm so here for that. And again, it gives us the Rangers should make the most out of the adventuring day.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Right.
Right, we're up in the higher levels now. Because this is
we are indeed.
Gets crazy. 15th level. What are we getting at 15th level?
Archetype feature.
Don't need to tack anything onto that. 16th level. ASI. Don't need to tack anything onto that. 17th level.
So normally the ranger gets 5th level spells at 17th level, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
We have already moved the new 17th level feature right back down to 9th.
Yes,
This
because
is where the new ranger just gets advantage on targets of Hunter's Mark, and that's shit. Other people are getting 9th level spells at this point.
Yeah.
Oh, I get advantage on this one guy. I can summon meteor swarms.
Yeah.
What the fuck did the original get?
Nothing. 5th level spells, that's what I told you.
Just 5th level spells. So, this is where I think the hyper-focused version of Favorite Enemy should go.
Agreed.
You pick a creature. I've been arguing with myself throughout this entire stream whether or not it should be here or it should be the capstone. And I think it should be here.
I think it should be here because I think the capstone should be like, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, describe to me your vision for like our hyper focus favorite enemy.
With greater favorite enemy. Sorry, I'm sure as I go off screen. With greater favorite enemy, you're doing +4 damage. You have a language, you've got a couple of languages, and you have advantage on tracking. So
you also have advantage on saving throws against their spells and abilities.
Advantage on saving throws and abilities. So what I am saying is, what we should do is grandfather all of that in.
Oh yeah.
And improve it for one character. Because here's like, greater favorite enemy reflects down onto your original favorite enemy. I don't think this should do that. Like, I'm not...
Okay.
Like, I think you should get the benefits of greater favorite enemy and then increase them for this one guy, but it wouldn't affect the rest of your favorite enemies.
Okay.
So I want to make the bonuses fucking stupid. So the important part is selecting this. Now,
yes,
I think you are dedicating yourself to a singular creature.
Yeah.
And I think you should spend, if you spend 24 hours studying and research or just concentrating,
okay,
you can choose a nemesis.
I'm going to shut you off there then. But wait, no, sorry, I cut you off too early. Define a nemesis.
The nemesis should be a creature that, I think it should be a creature that you have, maybe a creature you have seen, but at the very least a creature that you know the name of. You should get...
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to stop here. So, I put it to you at 17th level. You can choose one creature, I'm going to say creature type, but it's not what I mean, from your existing sets of favorite enemy creature types. So if you are into beasts and aberrations, you can say, all right, you know what? We've been running into a fuck ton of
beholders,
aboleths,
yeah,
or owlbears, or anything. I pick aboleths. Aboleths I'm going to fuck up today. And I like the idea that you can take 24 hours to change to a different creature within your established favorite enemies. I think that's cool. I think at 18th level, because I think we should get rid of feral senses because it's garbage.
Yeah, it's correct.
I think 18th level, you can pick a nemesis and you lock in on that nemesis.
Okay.
And you don't get to change your nemesis until you kill them.
Okay.
And the nemesis is a named individual.
Okay. So this is essentially supreme favorite enemy.
Yeah.
Where you choose one creature
to be the best at killing.
And then we upgrade into, do we have that reflect down?
I think it should reflect down. I think this is
Okay.
the third. This is our third favorite enemy feature. It reflects down, and then Nemesis. So like so the +4 becomes a +6.
Yeah. And
You
they
know,
have disadvantage on saving throws against spells you cast.
yes, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call this Supreme Favorite Enemy.
Fuck yeah.
And then we're gonna do Nemesis next level, because I like calling it Nemesis.
Absolutely. And yeah, Dragon Grace, absolutely. Like a named lich.
Yeah,
or
it
the
absolutely,
BBEG.
Yeah,
somebody
Nemesis has to be, you have chosen a single entity, whereas this is a creature such as aboleths or beholders or whatever.
Yeah. And I think as well with the Nemesis, as you said, it needs to be someone either that you have met or you know enough information about.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big DM conversation at level 18 as we hunt the end of the game.
Yeah, because at 18th level, like you are. Because here's the thing: is if you are going to kill God, if you are going to kill a god, say the big bad of your campaign is Tiamat or Grunch, and you're like, that, I know that, I will seek this. I have made myself an expert on this one deity, and I'm going to fucking kill it. I have trained all my life.
Yeah.
And I think
level 18 is it. Yeah, level 18 is that time, because if you were not at the very end game of the campaign yet by level 18, then you are about to be.
Yeah. So, starting at 17th level, you have learned. You can select a specific creature from amongst the types find in your favored enemy and greater favored enemy features. For example, if you have aberrations as your favored enemy, you can choose aboleths. Or if you had celestials as your favored enemy, you could choose devas. Now, can you read me? So, I'm not going to put this in full D&D language because, if I remember correctly, Greater Favorite Enemy is a fairly chunky block of text.
It's not too bad, but yes.
Yeah, okay, so the damage you deal to this creature,
So it specifically goes, you gain all the benefits against the chosen enemy that you normally gain against your favorite enemy, including an additional language. Bonus to damage rolls against your favorite enemies increases too.
Yeah. You gain the benefits of your greater favorite enemy and favorite enemy features against the chosen creature and the
bonus damage rolls.
Yeah. And the bonus, I'm going to give him an extra language as well because it's fun.
Yeah.
And the bonus damage rolls, the bonus damage you inflict increases to +6. Yeah. You also learn another language of your choice.
Why not?
This This chosen creature also has disadvantage against
on saving throws against your spells and abilities.
Saving throws against your spells and abilities.
You can spend 24 hours in study to change your supreme favorite enemy.
I really like that, actually, because
I really like that.
That seems like a good kind of upgrade to the favorite enemy thing. And it means that, like, it reflects that, because here's the thing, at this point, with the Hunter's Mark we've set up, with a longbow, you're doing 4d10, let's say you've maxed out your thing, 4d10 plus 10 plus 12.
Yeah.
You're doing 4d10 plus 22 to your favorite enemy.
Which is good. It's not as good as a fighter, but it's good.
Is a fighter at this level is doing, without action surge, say with a maul or a greatsword, is doing 6d6 plus 15 plus whatever bonuses they're getting from fighting styles, etc. And possibly re-rolling some of those dice. And adding in extra features and other things that happen when you hit someone, which is a lot of fighter abilities. That's not even including things like champions with extra crits or battle masters with maneuvers. So I think we're in good line here, because fighters at this level. Let's look at new fighter, because I like new fighter.
Okay.
Yeah, fighters at this level, 17th level, have 2 uses of action surge, 3 uses of their indomitable, so they've got a lot of defensive and offensive stuff going on. They're probably packing higher AC than you. They're doing more attacks than you. And they've got all the tactical master stuff that comes with the new fighter that increases lets you add extra mastery properties.
Yeah. So it's like, this isn't, we are not breaking the bank here.
Yeah, I just for the comparison, because I don't want to be stepping on the toes of other classes here. And just to let people know, like, oh, you're making this too crazy. No, we're not making this crazy, because again, the other comparison being rogues. 17th level. Yeah, man, your sneak attack's 9d6. Fuck off.
Yeah.
And then the other
we really aren't making this crazy enough.
Yeah, the other comparison we're using is paladins, who still don't get anything at 17th level in the new feature, but they've got 3 uses of their channel divinity. They have more spells than you do.
Nice.
More fucking spells than you do. What the fuck? Radiant Strike, they're doing extra bonus damage just with every attack normally.
Yeah.
So they're a little behind you on that, and then you add smite, so they overtake you. So you're actually still doing less damage than the paladin.
Yeah, because paladins are doing that to everybody.
Yeah, and
you're doing it to one guy.
One guy.
Yeah. So I definitely think that I think we've scaled this pretty well.
I think we've somehow made the ranger still just a little underpowered.
But that's because it's got all of its outside of combat stuff that's really fucking cool.
Because this thing is, if you put this next to, again, with paladins, 4d6 plus 2d8 base plus 10. That's just your regular thing. Then and then you can add smites on that. So the paladin is still outstripping you in terms of damage, but you've got them in terms of mobility, outer availability, and you are able to have range.
Yes.
And you have a lot more spellcasting utility than the paladin does. Because here's the thing.
Absolutely.
Say you are a ranger, you're at 17th level, you're focusing down on your favorite enemy, okay? You don't have to worry about concentrating on Hunter's Mark because it's now a feature, and doesn't require concentration. So you can be running down Hunter's Mark, you can be running things like Flame Arrows, Lightning Arrows, you've got 5th level spells, you can be running Swift Quiver, you could be running Spike Growth for area control. You have a lot of utility and a lot of versatility. Paladins don't cast a huge amount of spells, and they tend to be small buffs, because they're saving their spells for smites.
Yep.
So I think we've done a good job with different, but like I don't want to use this phrase. I don't want to say separate but equal, but
I think we have made a good job of distinguishing the Ranger from everybody else and giving it its own clear and distinct role.
Yeah. Now let's do the ability that's going to be absolutely fucking mental. Because here's the thing.
Yeah, fuck one guy in particular.
Because I am a staunch believer that once you get past 17th level, as a player, you should be doing fucking mental shit. And your DM should be allowed to both let you do mental fucking shit and throw mental fucking shit at you.
Yeah.
So the gloves are off. Any limiters are gone. We are demigods bending the forces of reality into a fucking corkscrew and sticking it in our beer. That is where we are.
Dragon Craze asked about using favorite terrain. We axed it. We took...
Which is a shame, because I like it.
Yeah.
I like it in concept, but we didn't have space.
Yeah, we took the Deft Explorer from Tasha's instead.
Yeah, because we did a lot of stuff to the early level for Ranger. We put in real fucking early, because we've given you Hunter's Mark as a class feature. We've given you Deft Explorer at first level, and then second level you get spellcasting, fighting style, weapon mastery, and then favorite enemy starting at third level. So it works really well. Like I like favorite terrain. It's a shame.
I know. I also like favorite terrain.
But we can't keep everything. We can't keep everything in the Ranger. We have to make things better. So you are naming one guy. You are naming one guy because fuck that guy. Well, we'll talk about subclasses later. We will fucking talk about subclasses later. Because you know what? Do you know what this actually leaves open for us, Chris?
What?
To do an Explorer Ranger.
Yes, we want to do an Explorer Ranger.
Let's fucking do an Explorer Ranger later. Keep that thought in mind. I'll put it in the document.
I'm going to add it I put it in the document.
Yeah, you put it in the document. So I'm saying we go fuck this guy in particular. You're talking about one dude, and you can't switch your nemesis until this guy is dead. This is, you are hunting them to the ends of the fucking earth. So I think the bonuses you get to this should be absolutely insane. Because it's all the benefits from Supreme Favorite Enemy on down. Yep. Increase the damage. I think we should increase it beyond the normal +2, and I think you should be doing +10 damage to this guy.
I agree.
Because here's the thing, it's like if you build this right, and you do this plus Sharpshooter, that would be, let's see, back to our original calculation, 4d10 plus 10 plus 40.
That feels pretty good. Again, because this is the thing, level. Like, realistically, if we're talking about fuck this one guy in particular abilities, what we're up against is the rogue sneak attack.
We're up against the rogue sneak attack in terms of fuck this one guy in particular, but also just in terms of large-scale damage. You have to remember that we are still scaling to 9th level spells.
Yes.
And admittedly, you're repeating this damage, so it comes out a lot. Whereas a 9th level spell is only getting cast once, so...
Regular, max damage of 90 regular, 180 crit. We need a Discord to discuss ideas. We will one day.
No. Because the crit wouldn't double the bonus damage, it would only double the dice roll. Because crits don't double, yeah.
Fair.
If crits doubled added damage, like static damage. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
We're already scared of Great Weapon Master fighters, but that would be a lot fucking scarier.
Yup.
Yeah, let's get fucking 9th level spells again as a comparison. Like this is what I kind of mean when I say the gloves are off and we're all doing crazy shit. Because do you know what else is up here? Power word kill. Prismatic wall. Psychic scream. The spell that quite literally has in its text exploding heads. Fucking time ravage. You have a lot of shit. You have a lot of shit you can do here. So yeah, because that means like the crit would then increase it to because you'd be doubling the Hunter's Mark dice as well. So you'd be doing 8d10. This is again just with a basic longbow. You'd be doing 8d10 plus 8d10 plus 40.
Alright.
Because that's hang on. No, sorry, 8d10 plus 50.
Nice.
You've got the damage roll from the dice, the plus 10 from your, let's say, dexterity, and then the 2 20s from sharpshooter and nemesis. I have, weirdly enough, Pointy Hat is one of those D&D YouTubers that I've never actually dug into, despite the fact he's shown up on a lot of other people's series that I watch. Like I know he's done a lot of stuff with Ginny D, and a few things with Smith.
I don't think I know Pointy Hat.
Right.
I genuinely don't think I know Pointy Hat.
Pointy Hat is he's actually one of the bigger D&D YouTubers. But I don't know why, I've never dug into their stuff. Like,
because I think like the people that I know best be people like obviously Ginny D, Wizard Therapist.
Wizard Therapist.
Yeah, did you know welcome to Dungeon Master Therapy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Dungeon Master Therapy. Who's the? There's a couple others I'm trying to remember.
I mean, D&D shows would be the next one I would go to.
Here's where he turns other classes into liches with their own rituals. That sounds fun, actually. You know what?
Fucking hell, yes. Oh, look at Grim Hollow's monster transformations, because the Lich one is insane.
Nice.
Admittedly, you have to be very high level to do it, but still.
Anyway, that's fair.
Selecting a nemesis.
Indeed.
You can designate a single, I'm going to say entity.
Individual. Entity. All right, a single entity. There you go.
As your nemesis.
This must be an entity you have met or have sufficient information on.
This must be a creature you have met. Yeah.
I'd stick with entity since you've said entity.
I mean, I'm saying entity to differentiate it from like creature type and try and keep that as clarity. But technically speaking, I think you could name a table as your nemesis.
This is true. I mean, you know what? I love to fight that table. That table's name is Jeremy, and he fucked my wife.
I'm going to stick with creature just to keep it in line with regular language.
Yeah,
because the last thing I want is to confuse people with this.
You know what? We are confusing enough as it is.
Yeah, this needs to be a creature you have either met or have studied extensively.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna add in discuss with your DM the extent necessary of this study. You must know the creature's name or a name it commonly uses.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a DM to fuck over a player by having their BBEG use an alias.
Yeah.
Especially if one of the things is you have a reveal about who that BBEG is.
Yeah.
So I just to yeah. For example, if you chose, for whatever reason, you wanted to kill Bahamut.
Yeah.
But you were only tracking the sorcerer Fizban.
Yeah.
It's the same guy.
Yeah. Tis indeed.
So you could choose Fizban the Fabulous and be like, oh, fuck, he's a dragon now. I'm gonna kill him. Right. You gain all the benefits of your supreme, greater, and favored enemy features. What was the exact language? Against the chosen creature. Against the chosen individual. I'm gonna okay. I have found a hole in this that we need to use.
Okay.
Because we need to define a time it takes to define a nemesis. Because I don't want you to be going around and finding out the names of people in combat and be like, that guy is my nemesis, kill him. That guy is my nemesis, kill him.
I mean, yeah, no,
What's
that's
your
fair.
name?
I think once your nemesis has been defeated, you must spend a large amount of time.
I'm gonna say a day.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, but it's only after your nemesis has been slain.
Yeah.
Like you can't. It's not gonna be like the supreme favorite enemy where you can just change it ad nauseum. It's gonna be once this cunt is dead, then you can go find another nemesis.
And the bonus damage you inflict increases to +10 because fuck you.
Yeah.
What else should we add into this? Because you already have advantage on saving throws against their stuff.
They have disadvantage against saving throws against your stuff.
And you have advantage on attacking them.
Yep.
What else can we add apart from the shitload of damage we've done? I actually think we should designate an out of combat thing.
Oh?
I think you should be able to track your nemesis. And I mean, like, really track them.
Like, know exactly where they are in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
But I don't want to do it at all times. Because if you know it... Because here's the thing. I'm just thinking, I'm trying to manage this from a DM's perspective.
Okay.
Because say your BBEG was secretly a member of the party the whole time.
Yeah.
This would fuck that. This would complete...
Yes.
That would shit up the story, and we don't want to shit up the story.
But also, your DM has a lot of notice.
The DM does have a lot of notice. They have 18 levels.
Of notice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about this? Link it back to previous not feral senses, primeval awareness and things like that. Say you spend 10 minutes inquiring and concentrating. Then you can determine the exact location of your nemesis. But like you determine it, and then you might end up going over there and they've already left.
Yeah,
You need
so
to
you,
spend
like, you
another
can
10
always
minutes
you
going
can
and figuring
always
out
catch up with it. Determine the exact location of your
Yeah.
nemesis.
at that moment.
Let's say, regardless of what plane they are, they are on.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I'm
Imagine this with a Planewalker Ranger. Imagine this with a Planewalker Ranger.
I will track you across the multiverse.
That'd be so good.
So
and that'd be a great character.
So what I'm gonna say that to link it back again to primeval awareness, I'm gonna give you specific information.
Fair.
Because this is about studying your prey. You have chosen this creature. You are hunting the most dangerous game. Liches. Dinosaurs are the most dangerous game. Fuck you, Kraven the Hunter. Kraven the Hunter has definitely fought dinosaurs.
I believe he has in the comic regularly fought dinosaurs.
So I am going to say that you would learn some really specific things about them. Like damage resistances, or maybe you would learn some of the spells that they know, if any. Maybe learn their hit point maximum.
Maybe, but I think that should be an in-combat thing. I think you should be able to... Yeah, but I think that you should be able to use your I think you should be able to sacrifice your action in combat to learn a bunch of shit. Because actually...
The Battle Master has a version of this that's crap.
I was just thinking, actually, also, there's a Ranger subclass. I think it might be a UA subclass that also has something like this. Let me just double check. The Monster Slayer subclass, which is who Titus is.
Yeah.
So for that, well, I mean, admittedly, it's a version of Hunter's Mark that you get at 3rd level. Bonus action: choose one creature you can see within 120 feet. Immediately learn the target's vulnerabilities, immunities, and resistances.
So I think we should do a jazzed up version, like a juiced version of that.
Juiced, yeah. But also, is that not such a great ability at 3rd level?
That is a really great ability, because the thing is, the Battle Master one that I was referencing is their 7th level ability, which is you spend a minute outside of combat studying another creature, and the DM tells you if the creature is your equal, superior, or inferior in regard to two characteristics, which is strength, dex, con score, AC, current hit points, total class levels, if any, and fighter class levels, if any.
Yeah.
So that's
a bit crap.
It's a bit crap, and it takes a minute to do.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So when you can, should I say see your nemesis? I don't want to say see.
Yeah.
No, because what if they turn invisible? We don't have any. We nixed the blind sight feature.
We did, yes.
When you are within 60 feet of your nemesis.
Your nemesis.
When you're within 60 feet of your nemesis. No,
yeah.
100 feet.
Now. Yeah. Well, because the Slayer's Eye is a creature you can see within 120 feet, and it's a bonus action.
200 feet. 200 feet, and we're making this a bonus action, because we have removed most of what a ranger wants to do with their bonus action.
This is true.
Which admittedly is now freed up for more spells!
Yay!
You have a Chardalon Stride. You have fucking Zephyr Strike. Like, you have so many things you can do.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that Hunter's Mark change, the more I think about it, the more I realize, like, if they just did that, if we just took that feature and the things that go onto it and slapped them onto the current Rangers, that would actually be fine. That would be... We're doing better.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
We're making a better Ranger, but yeah, that would fix a lot of the... Yeah.
Yeah, when you're within 200 feet of your nemesis, you can spend a bonus action to learn specific information about them. you learn, and it will be all of these things.
Yep.
Again, we're at 18th level. We're getting crazy. Gonna start off, their current hit points.
Yep.
Their current hit points, their highest spell slot, if any.
Yep. Weaknesses and resistances.
Yep. Because that's the thing, is this... this is... Yeah. Because this is also really good for your party. Because if you think about just to add the meta level onto this, you will have this information and you can hand this out to your party. For example, if you have a wizard or a sorcerer and you know that they have resistance to certain kind of spells that can avoid that or are vulnerable to anything, you can really get people to focus down.
It's a huge deal.
So what I'm telling you is, hey, dungeon masters, make multi-stage boss fights. They're fucking great. Just don't do as many as I did the last time, because that was quite literally, I think, 6 sessions.
That was a Kingdom Hearts boss fight you put us through, you cunt.
Yeah, it was great. And none of you died!
You know what? I'm genuinely amazed none of us died. Admittedly, you Deus Ex Machina 2 of us.
I thought it would be more fun.
Yeah, I know.
I thought it would be more fun. And I was right.
You were. It was great.
Any damage, resistances, immunities, or vulnerability. I'm genuinely going to just basically give you a full look at the stat block. Any condition immunities.
That's a good one.
Yep. Hit points, they're AC.
Yeah.
Their current AC. And their saving throw proficiencies, because fuck it.
Thank you. Fairy brought me food.
Woo!
Thank you. Have salmons.
Oh, hell yeah. What saving throws they are proficient in? So, you get to spend a bonus action. You learn current hit points, highest available spell slot, resistances, immunities, and vulnerabilities, condition immunities, AC, and what saving throws they're proficient in.
Holy shit.
I think that is enough.
I think, yeah?
Because this is a
What's everybody
repeatable
else?
action. So if you're...
It is. We are going to need to limit this.
Yeah. Bonus action, fuck it. Number of, wisdom modifier. Wisdom modifier.
Yeah.
You can use this bonus action a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier. Regaining all expended... I'm going to say long rest for this one. Regaining all expended use on a long rest. You cannot change your nemesis until the... Sorry, hang on. You cannot
until the current one has been
designate
slain.
you cannot designate a new nemesis until the current one has been slain, which means that resurrection can be a way to get around this.
And that feels pretty legit at 18th level.
To designate a new nemesis, you must spend at least 24 hours studying your target. Does that sound good? Fuck yeah. Alright. 19th level.
I'll bring you back just to kill you again.
He's like, cleric, res him. 19th level. Ability score improvement, epic boon. I think we should keep that.
I agree.
Because I like the epic boons. Okay. Like's a strong word. The epic boon system for the 2024 books is fine. I think some of the boons that they have are a bit crap.
Yeah.
No, you've got to kill them and bring them back. You gotta have someone on hand with Revivify. I don't make the rules. Except when I'm literally making the rules.
So yeah, if you befriend your nemesis, that's it. Nemesis is done. But you would never befriend your nemesis because they are your nemesis. Although, wouldn't that be the thing? Like, all the rest of the party are like, actually, he's really chill. And the ranger's like, no, I want to kill him with every fiber of my being. He must die.
All right. In that vein, shall we say that if you spend a year without the nemesis becoming hostile to you, you can remove them as your nemesis?
If you spend a year in a convent.
You spend a year in a commune together. If you get married.
If you convalesce for a year as a hermit up a mountain.
I don't know, man.
Not
Some hermits are pretty revenge-driven.
If you are not a vengeance hermit, then sure.
Anyway, 19th level, ASI, epic boon. 20th level. Now,
we need to fix Foe Slayer, it's crap.
Every version of Foe Slayer I have seen is fucking atrocious. Because
if you get married, your nemesis is now your mother-in-law. I was going to say, that's fine. My mother-in-law's already dead. I can pick a new nemesis.
I don't have any laws. I have no law. But yeah, because the original Foe Slayer is, and I hate the fact that it's the flavor sentence is, you become an unparalleled hunter of your enemies.
Yeah.
Once on each of your turns, you can add your wisdom modifier to the attack roll or the damage roll of an attack you make against one of your favorite enemies. You can choose this to use this feature before or after the roll, but before any effects or the roll applied. Now, that is shit. Mm-hmm. It's not as shit as the 2024 Foe Slayer.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Your Hunter's Mark is a D10 rather than a D6.
Yeah. Scaling behind fucking everybody.
That's scaling behind a 5th level fighter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's crap. I'm sorry. Okay. An 11th level warlock with Hex. It's just...
Yeah.
Then you gotta do murder. That's why it's sort of like you have to know an alias. But if your DM is willing to put you through that to really trick you about who this is, that's a hell of a plot twist, and I don't want to fuck with that. Because also that means that you have the plot moment of you have murdered somebody by mistake, and you got to deal with that. And it's another reason to go fuck up the BBEG, because make your players care about murdering your villains.
Absolutely.
Anyway, 20th level. I still want to call
Inigo Montoya as a Bard Ranger multi-class!
We have stolen Inigo Montoya from the Vengeance Paladins.
Yes, we have! Oh, I'm so happy!
I do want to call this... I still want to call it Foe Slayer.
I'm here for Foe Slayer. Yeah. That's fine.
But good this time!
Foe Slayer, but it doesn't suck.
So, we have already basically taken the Foe Slayer from 2024. Because we have done the scaling of Hunter's Mark.
Yes.
We already
We put
have
that
it.
in as base. Because it
that's
should always have
already in
been as base.
In fact, I'm probably going to scale this slightly differently so that it's actually better at this level, because honestly, fuck this. So that's
Yeah, 100%.
So probably starting from 17th level, you're probably doing a D12 with your Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
So,
Foe Slayer Plus.
Foe Slayer Plus. Here's
Ultima
the thing.
Weapon recoded.
I kind of want to just tweak the original and make it better.
I have a different thought. So
Good,
let's hear
mine is
yours.
not particularly inventive.
Okay, tell me yours.
So you know how you can, once per turn, you can add your wisdom modifier to either the attack or the damage roll.
Mm.
Yeah, man, just flat add your wisdom modifier to your attack rolls and damage rolls. Fuck them.
I mean,
It's
that's
powerful,
like...
but it's simple.
It's powerful and simple. I have an alternative. Foe Slayer, to me, and again, as we've been narrowing things down from like lots of people down to like more specific people down to like one cunt in particular, I think Foe Slayer is one attack. One
gigantic.
Yeah. I think this is our limit break. Cut a mountain in half once per long rest. Huge attack.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. So, right. So for comparisons, like I disagree with a number of 20th level features.
Okay.
For the more powerful ones, we have both Barbarian and Monk getting both of their like their main stats boosted beyond 20. We have the Rogue being able to just win because you get stroke of being able to turn things into a nat 20 once per short rest. You get Wizards being able to cast third level spells for free, like cantrips. So that's kind of the thing we're looking at. And like Fighters attacking 4 times, Paladins of course getting their insane subclass features. So we're looking... So yeah, okay. Foe Slayer, you take a big shot.
Yeah. I mean, you just win because you get a stroke.
I don't know, Dragon. There's at least one kind of stroke I can think of that isn't a win.
Jay.
Yeah.
Did you just say masturbation's a sin?
What am I, a cleric? Fucking hell. Right.
You finished the game, so I'd call it a win. I mean, that's you know what? If you die, you have finished the game.
So, right. Foe Slayer.
Yeah.
We are at the peak here. This is it. I'm just trying to think of how you would do one gigantic attack, because you've already got your nemesis that you're doing plus 10 damage every single hit on.
Yeah.
What would we possibly do for like one major attack? Are we talking like you basically but what would still be in character? Because honestly, all that's coming into my mind is genuinely like a Final Fantasy style one arrow that turns into like a giant laser beam.
I mean, I'm kind of in that vein, I'm not gonna lie, but equally well, it's not
very D&D.
It's not the most, not very D&D. But if we're talking about D&D, what was that one you said was the Rogue's 20th level in 2024?
This is actually the same in 2014 and 2024.
Oh, nice.
Stroke of Luck. Whenever you... if you fail a D20 test, you can turn the roll into a 20. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
Does that count for attacks, or is that specifically...
It's anything.
Anything?
Any roll.
So you can auto-crit once per long or short rest.
Now, it does say that you would turn it into a 20, so there is leeway there for your DM to argue if it's a nat 20 or a dirty 20. I would personally make that a dirty 20.
I mean, okay.
Um,
I would have argued for Nat. I would have said that turns the D20 into a 20.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
Okay, so
which
2024
was
is
going
on
to be my
anything. 2014 is just on attacks.
just on attacks. Okay, so well, if it's
Okay,
on
yeah.
anything, I could see both arguments. That's fair, Dragon. I think that's kind of the thing. But it is partly my justification for saying this, which is that normally you get 2 attacks, and yeah, I'm just gonna say right. You can choose triple damage. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say triple all damage on 1 attack, including fixed damage.
I will add a caveat to this.
Okay.
That when you make this attack,
Mm-hmm.
you do not get to make extra attack.
Agreed.
Okay.
This is you use your whole action, to do 1 big fucking attack, and it's triple all damage. Dragon Grace has also suggested dropping the crit from a 19 to a 19.
Honestly, nah, because here's the thing. That feels like something that that we'd be doing too late, because there's a couple of things that do dropping the crit range to 19, most notably champion fighters and old hex blades. That all happens really, really early. It feels like making the crit range go up just up 5%, wouldn't be that big. I don't know. Keep throwing shit at the wall, please. Because if you throw something at the wall and it feels wrong to me, but I can't articulate it, that's just me feeling things and not having a good reason. And reasoning is important for this stuff. As an action, you can make an attack. You make a weapon attack against a creature. Or does it have to be just any creature? Or does it have to be your nemesis?
I feel like it has to be a creature who's marked with your hunter's mark.
Okay. Because then we bring it all the way back around.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't actually touched Hunter's Mark realistically since 9th level.
Yeah. Because we already made it good enough. We didn't need to, turn the die into a D10 at 20th level.
That's so shit. It's just
so shit. Yeah. Well, especially when you think that version was you only add the D10 to the first attack in each round.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it? Was that just the Tasha's version?
No, let me.
Yeah, no, it is.
Let me check the new Hunter's Mark spell. Because did they change it to that? Because if they changed it to that, holy god, the new Ranger is shitter than I thought.
Oh yeah, no, I forgot they just made it a spell.
I mean, it's always been a spell.
Yeah, but like they specifically were just use the spell, but you can use it twice with that spell slot.
Yeah, didn't like that. I don't like just do spells better. Yeah.
Just the Tasha's that made it really shite.
It was just Tasha's trying to make it an ability and doing it shit. Because I think, honestly, if the only change I would have made to Tasha's would genuinely have been drop the concentration thing. Because I'm happy to have it as an ability and a spell, as long as I could use them both. But Tasha's, you have to use Favored Foe as if you are concentrating. And that fucks it up. Yeah, the change they made for new Hunter's Mark was they made it a d6 of force damage, as opposed to just a d6 more damage of what you do, and I don't like that. It feels weird. They've genericized a couple of things like that, and I didn't like it. And you have advantage on wisdom, perception, or survival checks to find it, which I should actually add into this one. But yeah, so I'm gonna say if it hits, you triple the damage. No, I'm gonna say no. Sorry, right. The first time you hit a creature marked with your hunter's mark, you can choose to triple the total damage dealt to that creature by your attack.
If you do so, you cannot use this ability again until you complete a long rest.
If you do so, you cannot take the benefit of the extra attack feature.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I said the first time you hit a creature. Mark your hunter's mark on a turn. Because it does so that it's not like, so that you're not
the
going
very
like,
first hit.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the first hit, because that would make this stupid.
Yes.
Be a hell of an opener, though. Be a hell of a fucking opener.
Well, I was gonna say, what was the? There is a ranger subclass that does that though. Like first hit of the Gloomstalker. Like first hit of the fight is insane.
It does extra damage, and I think you get an extra attack on the first turn. Like Gloomstalker is the one that gets built into all the insane ranger builds.
Yes.
Yeah. You cannot take your extra attack this turn. Once you use this ability, you cannot use it again until you finish a short rest.
You can say short rest.
I mean, Stroke of Luck is a short rest for rogues. And I think a bunch of the paladin subclasses, because they get their 20th level thing, are also short rest, those transformations.
Fair.
Yeah, this is what... Because here's the thing. Okay, say you're doing this... Let's run a few numbers, because we've got about 15 minutes left. You use your Foe Slayer on your Nemesis. You're at max level, so we're going to say doing D12s with Hunter's Mark. Disregarding magic items and disregarding spell damage, for example, lightning arrows, flame arrows, and Zephyr Strike, you would be dealing 2d10 plus 2d12 plus 50 multiplied by 3. Now, I believe the average of 2d10 is 12. The average of 2d12, I think, is 14. So let's average that out to 12 plus 26 plus 50, 76. What's 76 times 3? It's over 200.
Yeah. Pretty huge.
It's 218, I believe. No, 228.
Yeah. Admittedly, that is against your Nemesis.
That's against your Nemesis.
That's the maximum damage it could possibly do.
No, that's the average damage it would do.
The average maximum it could possibly do.
No, the maximum damage, let's see, would be 20 plus 24, so 44 plus 50, 94. Fuck, 94 times 3, which is 282.
Yep. Nearly 300 damage.
That's not including... Oh my god,
bonuses.
Right.
Hey!
That's not including any extra dice you're getting from spells, which you are now able to handle a lot better because you have your concentration free, or magic item bonuses for either plus. Because that's the thing is, if you have a +3 longbow, that adds another +9, and you get into 291. And if you have any items that let you deal an extra X amount of damage when you hit someone, that that will return dividends. Like, you're only gonna do it once, but it's gonna fucking hurt. Because here's the thing: you're at 20th level.
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with seriously high-level creatures.
Yeah.
Let's look at a CR 30 creature. You know what? Let's look at the original CR 30 creature.
The Tarrasque.
It's not the best kind of yardstick, but it is there for a reason. Like, it's scary for a reason.
Yeah.
The Tarrasque. On average, the average roll, the Tarrasque has 676 hit points. So you're not gonna one-shot it.
No, which is
but
important.
You are gonna fuck it up.
Yes.
You are gonna fuck it up, and that's adorable.
That is actually so cute.
And this
I love Terry the Tarrasque.
Hang on. That was, because that was calculated with Sharpshooter. That was only calculated with Sharpshooter I did there.
Yeah.
That's before you add in, like I said, magic items or crazy feat bullshit, or there might be some of the epic boons that could increase that.
Is that too big?
No.
Okay.
If it was going to one-shot the Tarrasque, then yes.
Fair. I would, however, say, because you're taking that high an amount of damage, potentially, you're doing, I think that's once per long rest. I don't think you can justify making that once per short rest. Because then you would weapon masteries as well.
Yeah.
Because at that point, realistically, if you're doing it once per short rest, you're cleaning things out, resting, cleaning things out, and resting.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it becomes a game of, it legit just becomes a game of Final Fantasy, where you're just like, ultimate weapon, rest, ultimate weapon, rest.
Yeah, because even looking at something that is not something at CR 27, for example, from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, the Chromatic Great Worm has an average HP of 533, and the ability to restore its own HP once it gets down to where is it? Where is the mythic? Yeah, if it's reduced to 0 hit points, it gets another health bar and a couple more features. That's
horrifying.
Which is a really cool thing that some of the monsters in this did, which was mythic actions, and I love that so much. Like, the aspect of Bahamut, which is one of the aspects of Bahamut and Tiamat, which are at the moment, I believe, top of the fucking pile in terms of scary.
Yeah.
Base HP, like average roll HP of 574 for Tiamat. Again with the Chromatic Wrath mythic action. So there is that. If it was your nemesis, I would argue for a short rest. But also, if it's your nemesis, they shouldn't be surviving the encounter. Yeah.
That's kind of my point.
Yeah.
And also, I feel like one of the things that doing it once per long rest kind of really gives you is it gives the DM the chance to try and make you burn it on the way up to the BBEG.
So if we just scale this back to a supreme favorite enemy and remove Sharpshooter, and we take the average 2d10 plus 2d12, so 25. Plus an extra 10 for your dexterity modifier.
Yep.
So 35. Plus an extra 12 for your supreme favorite enemy.
Yeah.
So that's 35, 47. Multiply that by 3.
Yeah, much more reasonable. 120,
141.
130 something. 141. There you go.
Because that's actually a lot more likely. Because we were previously calculating your nemesis.
Yeah.
So this is a one-shot attack that you're doing on one creature.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Why is it 2d10?
Because you're... Oh, no, it's not actually. Shit.
No.
Because it's one attack.
We've been doubling all this. We've been doubling all that. This is one attack. This is 1d10 plus 1d12.
Okay, so it's 5 plus... So it's 11 plus 5. So it's 16 plus another 6. 22.
Plus 6. Yeah.
And then tripled. So 66.
So it's actually now not scary in the slightest.
Not scary in the slightest. Let's make it 5 times.
I mean, that would make it much closer to what we were initially estimating at, which was at actually 6 times. So
let's fucking quintuple it. Fuck him.
Quintuple that one attack. Let's go.
Because here's the thing. Again, let's go with single attack. So, what did I say? 5.
So a longbow.
Yeah, with a longbow,
Yeah.
so it's 5 plus 6, 11 plus 5, 16 plus the 6 from Supreme Favorite Enemy. That's assuming Supreme Favorite Enemy, actually. So let's remove that. So this is just a guy.
Yeah, a guy who is not any kind of favorite enemy, nothing special. So this is the lower end of the damage we're
This is
doing.
the lower end. This is the base average.
Base average.
So that is 16
Mm-hmm.
multiplied by 5. Which is what? 80.
80. That's not bad for like a low end one-off attack.
That's actually pretty
where
good.
You weren't. Yeah, for that's a paladin smiting.
Yeah, like I've seen paladins go well over 100 with a good shot without a crit.
Yeah.
This is again calculating without a crit. If I just for fun, let's go again and run the nemesis numbers because I like big numbers to make me feel good. You have again 16 plus 16.
Your nemesis types plus 10,
so
26.
So 26 multiplied by 5.
26 multiplied by 5
is 130.
Is 130. Much less impressive.
Much less impressive.
So do you want to keep the extra attack?
I'm thinking either keep the extra attack or multiply it by 10.
I think multiply it by 5 and keep the extra attack.
I don't know. I like the idea of this being one big smack.
I also do. That was what I proposed, but also like in the grand, D&D schema, I think it's probably not reasonable to have somebody who can take off half of the Tarask's health in one hit. Well, actually, no. That's okay. Give me a 9th level spell. What are we doing 9th level spells?
Time Ravage, which is 10d12, I believe.
Okay. What's the average of a d12?
6. So 60.
6. Okay, so that's 60. So, okay, so you're averaging 60.
Yeah. But it also ages to the point where it has only 30 days left to live before it dies.
Okay, so that's averaging 60 plus bonuses.
It gets disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Its walking speed is halved, and this can only be cured by either a 9th level Greater Restoration or Wish.
Okay. So maybe we're a bit underpowered.
I think we're maybe being a little underpowered here, actually.
God damn.
So times 10.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Well, 16 times 10 gives us 160 as base average.
Yeah. And it gives us 260 as our top level average. And here's the thing.
That feels pretty good.
To bring it back to the argument I think we made with Vicious Retreat. As a player, this will make you feel incredible.
If it works.
If it works.
Imagine rolling fucking bottom dice on it.
Well, here's the thing: is even if you roll bottom dice as your base thing,
you're still going to do over 100 damage.
2 plus 5, 7, multiplied by
plus 6.
Plus
7.
Base damage because this is also including Hunter's Mark, is 70.
Okay. You know what? That's fair.
Like your
Even
minimum possible damage with none of your extra features is 70.
Yeah. I mean, I think incentivizing the DM to do staged fights is good. I have no issue with that. And again, I think that's part of the joy of this, is that there's a little bit of, like, if you're the DM and you have this 20th level ranger in your party amongst all the 20th level, that was a plus onto it, absolutely. It's like, in your gauntlet to get through to the BBEG, like, can you make the ranger use this trump card?
Exactly. So there's like a lot there. And also, I have to remind you that this is a single attack to a single creature.
Yup. This is the very definition of fuck that one guy in particular.
This is fuck that one guy in particular. This is... you are restricted because you can only do this on one attack. If you are dealing with a large number of enemies, this ability does become virtually useless. Unless you can pick on the absolute most essential guy.
Pretty much.
So, like paladins, the ranger is hampered by having to deal with groups. So we still have that element in there. And it's not that hard to design around this to make it easier to manage. But it's still a good holy shit moment as a player, especially if you save it and you save it until you get to the BBEG, your nemesis. Think of that as a story moment.
You know what I love the idea of, Jay?
Yeah.
Just because I know exactly the type of shit heel players who would do this. I might occasionally be one of them. Imagine your nemesis is just some guy. The tavern keeper who fucked you over that one time in like the first village, and the player made a note of it and kept it till 20th level. You
know what? If a player wants to be that petty, I will happily design a quest for that. I will do that. At that point, if you have had your players with you to level 20, they fucking earned it.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
Like he's just like your ranger's just born a grudge the whole time against this one guy, like in really early level, who fucked you over.
It's Tim from secondary that kept pushing you into your locus and fucked your girlfriend. Exactly.
It is exactly.
The ranger. It's like, what is your favorite enemy? My ex-wife's new husband. I would like to use
a commoner
Slayer. My ex-wife's new husband, Greg.
He's a commoner with 8 hit points, but I am going to hit him with
the fury of 1,000 suns. You know what? Fuck yeah. It's like, you can multiply the attack by 10. It's like once per long rest, you can hit something for 10 times damage. Which, admittedly, it's not as impressive as we've kind of managed to get it up. It's still, on average, less than what we originally said. But that is, again, still before you're adding in magic items, you're adding in extra spells, you're adding in bonus effects. Because here's the thing, this is one of the few times where, hey, if a paladin casts Divine Favor on you, fuck yeah, that's going to pay dividends.
Oh yeah!
Oh. Right, I think that's us for tonight.
I think we have made the Ranger great.
We have made the Ranger great. Thank you very much. Hope you're good with God, Tim. You're about to meet him.
Fucking excellent.
Thank you everybody for joining us. We are here every Monday, except next Monday because I'm gonna go
some Mondays. We're here some Mondays.
I'm trying most Mondays. It's just that sometimes life gets a bit fucking mental. We're here with plenty of D&D and Pokemon content. We have got plans for the future. Ooh, things to go ahead with. But yeah, we're here. Come hang out, listen to our bullshit, and play with our homebrew. All of which will be available on my Patreon. That's Jonathan Honey on Patreon. All of it is available for free. Look, man.
Dragon Cray's just sitting here spitting truth.
Just fucking shoot me in the head next time, why don't you?
With Foe Slayer.
With Foe Slayer! Oh my god, Modern Magic Ranger. 50 cal. Just pulls the fucking lever back and is like, goodbye. It shoots through schools.
Oh my dear.
Nobody will get, but I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, it's a good reference. I'm here for it.
We will be back more frequently. Hopefully, like, life is calming down a little bit. We're not going to be here next Monday, but we will be here the Monday after that.
Yes.
All the shit's available on Patreon for free. It's all there. There's other stuff there if you want to pay. I'm writing a book, and there's chapters on that. You can follow me.
Good.
You can follow me on Twitter for at JonathanHoney4. Although pretty much the only things I post are when we're going live for these streams, and reposts for my games company, Ald Alliance Games. That's at @Ald_Games on fucking everything.
It's Ald, A-U-L-D. We should know this by now.
Ald, because we're Scottish. Yeah, things have been a little quiet over there for now, but we are kind of pivoting and getting things ready and doing a bit better. So stay tuned for further updates there. And if there's anyone listening who hasn't wishlisted my game, I thought there'd be stars. Please, 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 please do that. The demo is available on Steam for free. We're
come round your house.
Aye. Wishlist my game, or I'll come round your house and shit in your kettle.
And for those without kettles shall be provided.
Alright, thanks, Ian Paisley. You can follow Chris on the internet.
At Chris Honey Actor on Instagram. And you can also find my theatre company, Short and Sweet Theatre, at Short and Sweet Theatre on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, places. We're gonna get TikTok apparently, so I'm told. I know. Sorry, I don't know if I'll be on it. Who knows? But yeah, come support if you're in the UK in August. Come see my show at the Fringe. Life's gonna be good, and we're gonna post like fun things and stuff. Yeah. If you can't make it to Edinburgh, life's good.
And once Chris has built his fancy new PC, we're gonna probably start streaming more often.
We're gonna actually play some games.
Yeah, and when I say when Chris has built his fancy new PC, I mean when I've gone round and built it for him.
Please. I don't understand where all of the wires go. There's so many of them.
It'll be fine. I'll come over at some point. But for now, that's it. All the shit's on YouTube if you want to see our other stuff. This is genuinely the biggest thing we've made so far, and I'm genuinely really happy with it.
I'm really happy with it. I really like this. I want to use this in a game now.
Hell yeah. I just realized I hadn't put that in the table. Right. Thanks, guys.
Yes. And also thanks for the offer of IT support, Dragon. It's appreciated.
Thank you. Right. See you all around. Bye-bye.